Welcome in, everyone. We are back with another session of I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. Finji and Northway Games have put this together. It's pretty stellar so far. We are still, I think we've gotten into year 4 now. We are 13, 14 now? Let's find out. Let's get into it. Here we are, age 13. It is pollen season. So we started this game at 10, so we're in the 3rd year of this game, and we're headed towards our 4th year. These are where our skills are at. We have engineering completely maxed out, reason pretty high. Organizing, we're working on trying to get that first perk. And then we're gonna move on to I don't even know what. Being an exocolonist seems rough, not gonna lie. I mean, this is a one-way trip, you guys. If they don't make it, they don't make it. There's no backup. There's no one else coming to save them. Welcome in, Winter Fairy. They just decided off of the telemetry of some probes through a wormhole that there was a world out there that could hold human life and went for it. So I think you go into empathy after you get smart. I don't have any place where I can learn empathy is the problem. I have combat, I have perception, I have bravery, I have creativity and persuasion. I don't have any place to learn empathy. I do think we're gonna go back into biology, though. Classic school system, yeah, it's a little bit. I mean, we have options because we get to set our own schedule. Mars does a little twirl, showing off her shimmering dress. You would not believe how many kudos I needed to use to nanoprint this dress, she says loftily. I won't even bother telling you. It will only make you jealous. Oh, girl. We are not jealous of your dress. That much I can guarantee. We could care less. Uh-oh. Cal's being cute. He's being cute. This is literally how our dad got our mom. I guarantee you. Oh, mom's prosthetic is being problematic. We've read this one. I'm not gonna redo the voice acting on anyone on any of the things that I've already read, just because you can find them in the VODs. Yeah, this pollen, someday you're gonna get used to it. No, the shimmer is gonna kill you, Dad. We already know. We're genre savvy. We know. Hey, Dis. You gonna tell me I'm a nerd? Dis asks, barely looking up from his hollow palm. You can save it. I already know. Hey, does this interest you? No. He likes medicinal herbs. We don't have any currently. We'll have to save them for him. Hey, Annie. She's sharing her dust melon from lunch with us, which is awesome. You know what? I'm gonna give her a crystal. Because I feel like it. Ooh, she did not like that. A pretty rock? Annie hefts the crystal in her hand. No offense, but what does it do? Should we smash it? This looks like something Mars would like. Okay, Mars likes crystal clusters. Good to know. Do we know what Annie likes? No. Do we know what our bestie Tangent likes? No. Dis isn't a nerd. In fact, he was angsting about how he wasn't a nerd and that people thought he was dumb. Dis is a nerd. He's just a nerd in a different direction. Tange looks up from her experiments. Things must be going well because she's even smiling a little. This year's project for Vertumnilia Science Fair is going to do perfectly, she says. Even I'm a little impressed. Cool. Yeah, he's a dragon. He's a fantasy nerd. He is not a science nerd. He would be a lit professor in a hot heartbeat, but they don't have those in an exocolony. He was born on the very wrong world. I've looked at everyone. I'm looking for collectibles. Is there anything on the map that I can pick up since I gave something away? No. So, off to our job we go. To work in the depot. Let's go. We're even getting a little persuasion out of it. It's another meeting of the Secret Fun Times Club. You're trying to figure out what to do today. It's your job as the vice president of Fun Ideas, but you're having trouble coming up with something. Think, Mayron, think. I say this to myself all the time. He's literally me. What's that smell? Tang asks as she joins you. You think she means someone farted and you giggle, but then you can smell it too. It's like burning mustard or spices, strong and acrid. Then the overhead lights start to flicker. Oh, that keeps happening, Mars says with a shrug. Like the same time every afternoon. Nobody knows why. It's a mystery. She and Tang look at each other and then at you. A mystery! They jump to their feet. There's a mystery afoot, and the SFC is going to solve it. Tange brings up a fresh notepad on her holopalm and adds 2 bullet points. Clue 1, weird smell. Clue 2, flickering lights. Also, that sounds important. Yeah, it sounds kind of important. Give tangent a daffodil. Everyone likes daffodils. No such thing as daffodils on an alien world, Plague Dr. Man. So unless we brought some with us and our mom has planted them somewhere, there is no daffodils here. But I appreciate the thought there. Cal sniffs the air. The smell's coming from that vent, he says, pointing to a screen in the corner. We don't have a perception high enough to get up close and sniff, but we can get a schematic to see where the vent goes. A yellow flower of some sort? I had a yellow flower at one point, and I used it, so if I get the yellow flower again, I will absolutely give it to her. Tangent probably like tech, or if we're talking gatherables, isn't there some kind of medicine root that dislikes? You'd think she'd probably want to poke that? I don't think that Tange's likes and dislikes are the same. I got organizing for that. Nice. You pull up a schematic of the ship on your holopalm and track down where this vent goes. It takes a snaking route around the ship and connects to the cafeteria kitchens. It smells awful in here. Antecedent is here, fanning the nanoprinter with a cutting board. Well, it belches out foul black smoke. Oh gosh, kids, she says, don't come any closer. This darn nanoprinter's on the fritz again. Everything that comes out is awfully burned, and I don't want you to breathe in the smoke. Gosh, every gosh darn day, she mutters under her breath. You look up. The lights are flickering here, too. There. Did you see it? You take a closer look. There's some kind of black dust near them. That's weird. Little clumps of it are stuck to the wall and ceiling, all around the outlet and the back of the nanoprinter, too. You climb up on the counter, much to Antecedent's annoyance. When you put your hand near the black dust, your holopalm makes your hand tingle, like it's vibrating slightly. Tangent climbs up with you and tries it too. Electromagnetism, she confirms. The ferromagnetic materials in our holopalms are reacting to the presence of magnets or an electric current. I think it's in this dust. Dust? She makes a note. Clue 3, electromagnetic dust. Antecedent shoos you out of the kitchen. Out! Out! Go play somewhere else, my darlings. I've got supper to prepare. Aw. You follow the clumps of black dust through the lounge, down a long hallway to the children's crèche. It's quiet here, and instinctively you all walk softly and stop talking. You slow as you approach the playroom. The crèche playroom is empty and dimly lit, except for the holoprojector in the corner showing a purple teddy bear. The one that electrocuted your friend Tammy. It keeps flickering on and off. So, we could bravely enter the room first, but we do not have a bravery for that. We could convince Mars to go first. We do have the persuasion for that. Or we could wait for someone else to go first. Mars likes to be the chick in charge, so I'm going to convince her to go first. It'll probably get her killed. Not gonna lie. I don't think it's spores. But it could be spores. It also could be a byproduct of something else. It could be a sign that congruence is malfunctioning. Let's go find out. As Mars steps in, all the lights in the room suddenly turn on. 2 musical toys start playing all at once, and a toy robot begins spinning in circles, whirring. Mars shrieks. Tangent rushes suddenly forward, grabs a glass from the art table, and slams it upside down on the counter. "I caught it!" she yells. Oh, it's a life form. You gather around to see, under the glass are what look like 4 round metal things, like ball bearings. As you watch, one of them starts to roll. It advances to the edge of the glass and then rolls in a ring around the inside. It stops. Then a pair of long silver antennae emerge from the top of the ball. They click together, producing a bright spark of electricity. You all jump back. The other 3 balls gradually wake and begin snapping their own antennae. "I think we solved our mystery," Tang says with a growing smile. Sure enough, you find more magnetic black dust and something else. Tiny bite marks in the electric cord leading to the holo projector. "They must be feeding off the electricity," Tang explains, then storing it like a battery to use for self-defense, and this dust must be their excrement. Fascinating. Essentially, you have mice. Electricity mice. You report your findings to Dr. Instance. She discovers these pests have in fact been siphoning off electric current from your ship since it landed, and are responsible for some dangerous power surges, aka the power surges that killed both Tammy and possibly Professor Hal? We shall call these Pikachus. Tangent, our queen. Indeed. One such surge must have been the one that killed your friend Tammy. From a quick look around the room, everyone knows it. Annie rubs Cal's back as he stares at the ground. Ooh, kudos. The mystery of the weird smell. Instant sends you all some kudos and thanks. Sweet. And a card. Excellent. We didn't get it in this run, but excellent. Okay. We're gonna put you here. We're gonna put you here. And then we're gonna do this crazy thing. And just super gold the shit out of this. Heck yeah. Robo power for the win. Yep, this is exactly what the game would want. Absorbent Brain would give you a bonus. Ooh, yes. But this is the highest score. I mean, I can do this. It's fine. It does give me a bonus on skill, so here we go. +5 organizing. I got the perk. Gear slot. I don't even have gear to put it in, but it's a gear slot, so there we go. Got some persuasion, some kudos, and stress, of course. Yeah, no, it is the same bonus as when you get the best hand possible, so yeah, no. Skill over everything else. I am on the same wavelength, Trev. I am. I just haven't finished my coffee yet. You can tell. You're getting older. It's that magical time in your life, full of discoveries and possibilities, when children become adults and their bodies change in weird, wonderful, and often embarrassing ways. When you were younger, congruence gave your class a frank presentation about preparing for the changes your bodies would experience in the next few years. Which parts of the presentation was relevant to you? None of it. I'm like a doll down there. Oh. This is the answer I would like to give because, oh boy, was this a bad time. And I'm she, her in real life, so this I don't understand because I didn't do any of that. I mean, that isn't to say my voice never changed. I did actually have some voice changes because girls go through it too, but the last part of it, not so much. Your parents clearly decided that dolls were in and grandkids were out. No. I'm a girly girl. I know it. So we decided to be not quite androgynous, but still feminine presenting, although barely. And we decided to be a she, her, closer, you know, more metrosexual than anything else, but a she, her. So we're getting boobs, guys. Sorry. Or you're welcome, whichever. The menstruating I could absolutely do without. That shit tried to kill me. Literally. But, you know, it is what it is. You and your friends giggle your way through Congruence's presentation and left with a new appreciation for the wonders of the human body. Puberty had felt like something that would happen so far into the future that it didn't apply to you. You put it out of your mind, even as you noticed Cal's voice beginning to drop or Mars starting to dress differently. Until one morning you wake up and something feels different. Something has changed within me. Something is not the same. I suspect you'll get an avatar update. Yep, that's probably what's happening. You just know something's off as soon as you open your eyes. Things are squelchier than you expected them to be down there. You just want to close your eyes again. You remember Congruence's sexual education classes, and you're really not ready for the real-world practical applications. If you just go back to sleep, it'll go away, right? You finally sigh and muster up the courage to look under your blankets. Yep. Your period started. Ugh, it's the worst. Yeah, we're not dealing with this shit on our own. It's a mess. We're gonna ask for help because that is the correct answer in this point in time. That is absolutely the correct answer. You just go, Mom? Help? And that is that. You pull back your privacy curtain and gesture for your mom to come over. When she sees the problem, her eyes go wide and she gives you a big hug? What? My little girl is growing up, she exclaims, and you feel your face grow hot with embarrassment. Your dad is right there. Don't embarrass me in front of Dad, Mom, jeez. She puts her hands on your shoulders. I'm so happy for you, kiddo. I know you're probably grossed out, but getting your period is important. Sometimes we need a bit of a mess in our lives to remind us that we're real, that we're part of this world. It reminds us that we have the ability to make life and responsibility to take care of that life. Getting your period is a beautiful thing. I do not agree with this. I mean, I get why she as a mother would say this. I do not agree with this. But I understand that many people do. For those of you who appreciate the ability to continue to procreate, you're welcome. Enjoy. But for me, no thank you. I'm a cat mom at best. And I don't even have a cat. So, or at least I don't anymore. You can't think of anything worse. Thankfully, soon you can get a blocker to keep from having to go through this every month. Oh, man, what I wouldn't have given for a blocker. Your mom hugs you again and keeps talking about how she's proud of you. It's super embarrassing, and you can't help but shove her away and retreat to your bunk to stew about it. Oh boy, the hormones kicking in already. Time to have crying days. Yay. I'm a man by my sex, so I have no clue how it feels to go through puberty as a woman, but from what I've been told, it's not a vibe. It is absolutely not a vibe, Plague. Be glad you were a dude. at the time. Be glad you have that biology, is what I should say. Because, oh boy, the other biology, no thank you. I had it. I had it, and it's just not good. It's not a beautiful. If you know why women have them in the first place, you know it's the result of an arms race, and it's really, really messed up. Yes, it is very... It is war every month, you guys. It is outright war. Your body is not your friend every month. It is the worst. And I had it pretty bad. I don't want to give anyone nightmares, so we won't get into it. This is all I'm going to say about that. But, like, for those people who have an easy battle every month versus the absolute outright near genocidal war I went through on a monthly basis for many years, I am envious and I don't do jealousy. So please be glad if you didn't have to live your life like I did. I have since fixed the problem permanently. Oh, I'm glad about that. My emotions are messy enough as it is. Oh yeah, everyone gets the emotions problem. Everyone. Are you kidding? Hormones are crazy. You don't really have a true understanding of how much hormones run your personality and who you are until your hormones are so far out of whack that you are not yourself anymore. I have done the Jekyll Hyde. It is not fun. Emotions, wild. Hormones, crazy. But enough about that. Let's move on. Ooh. Gain status hormones. Oh boy, we're brave and rebellious now. Rebellion increases tripled. Okay. This is our rebellion phase because of hormones. What is happening? You feel on edge today. Like everything that happens feels so unfair and tragic. Like you want to punch stuff and then cry about it. Like you want to be left alone, but you also desperately want attention. Feels like a font of new energy is starting to bubble up inside you. Dangerous, uncontrollable energy. Welcome to puberty, Mayrin. And now we know why Mars and Cal are so Mars and Cal, because they are actually older than us by like a year, or at least a few months in any case. They hit puberty before we did, essentially. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. I agree with that. Dickwads all the way. I had to teach Automod because it's the only mod I have, so apologies for the delay on that one. But it is now late pollen. Nice. Extra gear slot, assuming we had gear to put in it, which we do not. We could look into it, but we haven't made enough money. But now that organizing is up, it is time to go back to classes and biology. Mars has set up her holoscreen to reflect her face, and she's swatching various eyeshadows on her forearm. Just because we're out here struggling to survive in the musty armpit of space, that doesn't mean we can't enjoy ourselves a little. She gestures to her eyeshadow palette. If I have the kudos to print luxury goods, why shouldn't I? Oh, girly, that will not help you survive. Cal looks up from his planting. What's up, Mayrin? He asks. Want to help? I got a lot of seeds to get in the ground. Yeah, he went straight from boy who likes animals and biology to I'm gonna be just like your mom, essentially. Well, just like your parents, really. I mean, they say that you always marry someone similar to your parent. That would be Cal. Cal is basically a mini dad, even though he's not related to us by blood. He's still suffering because it's still pollen season. Poor dad. Mom is being extra fussy with us today because we just started our period. At the very least, is the only one we'll ever have to do because of blockers, which is awesome. Hey Diz, how's it going? You are definitely different, my man, and this is fine. It is okay to be different. I don't have medicinal herbs for you. We have seen this one, so I'm not gonna read it, but I could give her a stick. Nah, she probably doesn't care about a stick. Or maybe she does. I don't know. Hard to say. Yeah. Hormones. I totally... Yeah. You have not let biology dictate who you are, Tangent, and I have a great deal of respect for that. Alright, okay. We can go to biology. Let's look at our options for a hot second. We could play sports ball for bravery and toughness. Defense training for combat and animals. Relax on the wall is something that we already do. We could practice with the photophoner for creativity and bravery. It's the least stressful activity that we can do. Or relax in the lounge and hang out with people, which we do when we get stressed up enough. We know what the options are here. Delivery supplies we weren't doing primarily because working in the depot gave us more persuasion and the same amount of organizing, so, and more kudos. So we definitely upped our kudos. But let's check the notice board real quick. Nope, that's all. Nothing new there. Nothing new there. So the supply depot, we can afford anything that's the 50s. Ooh, +5 reasoning. And +1 to all flushes. That's nice. I kind of want brain trainer though. We do not have enough kudos for that. Yeah, +15 to all skills, but it'll cost us 200 kudos, which is wild. Or we could buy cake. I don't know. The learning tablet is not a bad idea, honestly. We do like our flushes. We tend to go for flushes more than anything else. And we do like our reasoning. So that would give us a reasoning of 74. But I'm kind of saving for this. It's fine. And we also have the opportunity to work in the greenhouse with our mom and shovel dirt for toughness and Cal friendship and kudos. So there is that. We also have the opportunity to sneak out through the drain pipe for bravery and perception and friendship. And be a little rebellious. But I would like to go back to biology. I think getting biology up would be a good idea. So we're gonna go to the life sciences. This will also help with reasoning, which we still want to get up pretty high anyway. Our other option in here is creativity and persuasion through humanities, which we've done at least once. So. Hey PP, welcome in. Thank you for lurking about, if you are lurking, or hanging out, if you are. You can choose him as your starter friend. That'd make a huge difference. How do you become pals with Diz? You can choose him as your starter friend, which does give you a big bonus in the beginning. You can also do activities that give you plus relationship to Diz, or you can give him gifts. Any of the above, really. We're going back to biology, guys. It's been a while since you've been to life sciences class. You wonder who they got to teach it after Professor Hal died. He was the teacher back on the ship. Who could possibly replace him? You take your seat in the classroom. There's no teacher here yet. You and the other students wait, exchanging awkward glances as time passes. Eventually, Chief Engineer Instance breezes through the door. She's accompanied by Tange, who takes a seat beside you, barely giving you a second look. Look who showed up, Instance snaps. With a sinking feeling, you know she's talking about you. Mayrin, can you even tell me what life sciences entails? Tange looks at you out of the corner of her eye, trying not to smirk. Biochem, medicine, ecology, and geology. You easily rattle off the subject names. Instance doesn't look pleased, but she doesn't look disappointed either. That's about as good as you ever get from her, honestly, so you can count that as a win. Yup, I'm smart. And actually, all 3 of those answers are answers that Professor Hal has used before to talk about life sciences, but the answer I chose was the only one she was going to actually accept, so... Tangent stops you on the way to class. Mayrin, were you heading to life sciences? Good, I could use your help with something, actually. I'm working with Chief Engineer Instance in the biolab. If you give me a hand with it, I'm sure she'll give you credit for class. Of course I'll help. She's my bestie, of course. Honestly, admits Tang, we just need somebody to label petri dishes and move them from the cooler to different machines. A hop eye could do it. Instance is staring unfocused at her hollow eye as she processes the results of the scans. Tange goes and stands beside her, pulling up the scan on her own holopalm. They confer quietly while you wait. Sounds like they're studying the shimmer, the mysterious illness some colonists get during pollen every year, including your dad. Instance looks up at you as if just noticing your existence. Ah, Mayrin, she says. We've been studying samples from one of the colonists who get sick during pollen, including your dad. Some of the stuff is in his lungs. It's some kind of fungus. We think the shimmer is a form of reproduction, so Tange explains. It's like a fungus trying to turn us into more fungus-like. It's really neat, actually. You sound like you like the fungus. I admire the mechanism, Tange corrects you. But we'd be much safer if surveyors just set fire to it all, rather than trying to study it. Who knows what else is out there trying to kill us? Yeah, it's horrifying. I miss the old professor. He was so much cooler than Instance. Instance is the more learned and she is absolutely an academic and a very good one. Professor Hal was a people person. That isn't to say that his understanding of engineering was any less than Instance's, but he actually knew how to deal with people and children specifically. So ooh, +1 to Shimmer Cure, and +2 to Biology for this story piece. You spend the rest of the week helping them study the illness. Most of this involves following instructions and doing, as Tange loves to repeat, jobs a hop eye could do. Nothing beats hands-on experience, though. This would be easier if we had an actual sample of the fungus, Instance remarks. They're working with some biological samples, a fancy word for snot, but according to them, the fungus is all mixed in with human cells. Instance has to spend a lot of time in virtue space trying to disconnect the two in her models. Where could I find a sample? Our most useful reports have been from foragers returning from the Valley of Vertigo, she tells you, where the pollen is thick all year. That might be a good place to start. Well, maybe we should sneak out soon. All right. Five. 4, 3, 2. Oh, right. 1. That's not how that works. Okay. Can't. I mean, we can do a little bit of a straight. Nope. this one here. So it's not quite a super goal. Yeah, but these are young children. A teacher working with kids should be good at communicating. Yeah, that's what Professor Howell was for, except he died. Plague. There's no one else who could fill in the same way he could, because when it comes to exocolonies, you send the people that you can, but you can't send that many people. Can the fairy do better? I don't know. We'll find out in a moment. I'd also be fine with becoming a fungus man. Seems neat. I don't know about that. Apparently this is better. I'm not in disagreement of this. It is slightly better. There we go. We win. Either way, it's not a super. But we still bumped up biology by quite a lot. Got some reasoning in. Got A kudos. It is finally early dusk. Whew. Ah, the glucose. Tange isn't into sweets, but there we are. Hanny. 20, 21, 22. Annie counts, bouncing a sports ball on her knee. 24, 25, 26. Oh, hey, Marin. She tucks the sports ball under her elbow and smiles at you. What's up? Cute. She's cute. She's so cute. The story about changelings again. He thinks he is one. It may feel that way for him. If your mom already said no, I agree with her, your dad says without looking up from his work. I know you two disagree about things, but she's still your mom. We're not even fighting with Mom. What in the world, Dad? Jeez. Being a myconoid seems like a vibe. I mean, to be fair, Plague Doctor Man, in Dungeons and Dragons canon, you could easily be converted into a myconoid, and they would happily have you. You probably stopped being you, though, and they just used your body to grow more fungus, sort of like using you as compost. Yeah, what Trav said, though. That's more the vibe. Mom just wants to know if we're here to work. We are not. Hey, Cal. Cal looks up from his planting. What's up, Mayrin? He asks. Want to help? I got a lot of seeds to get in the ground. He's gonna be such a heartthrob someday. Not quite there yet, but he's gonna be. Guaranteed. Oh, more log. Oh, it's eyeshadow again today. Alrighty then. Back. Well, do we go to class or do we sneak out? We could sneak out. Maybe we could find the sample for the shimmer cure. Being me is being compost sounds cool. Plague, I hate to break it to you, but at the end of your life you're going to end up being compost anyway. I'm just saying. Cal, all you talk about is seeds and I kind of love it. So, are we going to biology class today, or are we sneaking out through the drain pipe? Trav says sneak it. Chat, what are we doing? Please ignore Utopia just standing here, like, getting in our way. We can totally sneak out. What are you, some nerd? You sneak out. Okay. Time to sneak. What's out there? Sneak out to explore. Oh, man. Events in this area can be done in any order. They won't cause time to pass, but will increase your stress. Return home via the expedition's depot flag or the home button at the top left of the screen. Watch for collectible items you can bring back as gifts. Events respawn at the beginning of each year, and new collectibles have a chance to appear every season. So the question marks are events. I want collectibles. Collectibles. Looking for... No, keep exploring. Okay, the drainage... Getting too close to the drainage pipe does that. I'm Well, okay, fine. We'll go to an event. You leave the path and sneak through a strand of mush trees to one of the little sawmills dotting this area. It's a small but busy operation. 3 people feeding mush tree logs into some kind of machine, while a 4th one directs a 4-legged robot with a plasma saw mounted on the front. We can stay and watch what they're doing. This is where the gems come into play. They're harvesting mush tree logs, obviously. Yeah. You stay out of sight and watch how they do it. When one tree crashes down, it almost seems like the others are wincing. It's probably just your imagination, though. They aren't planting new ones or leaving any behind. You know the mush trees regrow every year, but can they still regrow when you cut down everything like this? Logging, man. Even the smaller trees and bushes are getting ground up for mulch, with a big scary grinder that sounds like a roaring beast. The entire process makes you uneasy, but also proud of how industrious your colony is. Well, no wonder we get attacked and glow every year. They're freaking scared of us. Alright, time passes. Stress. A nearby pond has dammed up and washed out the path here. The path continues on the other side. Ooh, a bravery challenge. It's an easy challenge, so we are going to bravely jump over it. Goal of 27. Okay. This is a bravery challenge. It's a social challenge, so absorbent brain is not going to be useful here. Yeah, I'm going to do 4, 3, 2. It won't give me... Okay. Fine then. It will not give me what I want. 2 of a kind and a flush. That should be the highest I can get for this round, so next round. We just used our only gem card. Oh well. So we hit goal even round 2. Cool. This is just the bonus. There we go. Super gold it. Ah, humanity, never change. While I get where the writer's coming from, this also clears the area for expansion, so it's fine not to replace them. I think it would be great to find a way to get rid of some of the memories like sports ball and first steps. Every time we rest, we can get rid of a card. It's just, it gives us 2 options, and I can't like prioritize which options there are. So it's just a thing. Anyway, we super gold this, which means that we get extra bravery for completing the challenge. You bravely fall in and get wet. You flounder towards the other side, soaked but victorious. Oh, jeez. Time passes and there's stress. There's the flower. The flower, the flower. The yellow flower that we have been looking for. We have essentially space for 1 more of these. I can't get past this question mark. Ooh, mushwood log. I can't get to it. I have to pick an event. Dang. Alright, we'll go this way. The path here is engulfed by a dust tornado. It whirls and twirls, not showing any signs of moving away. We're gonna walk through the dust. It's an easy perception challenge. So here's a straight. Already into super goal. Ooh, okay. Let's do... There we go. Very super gold. So we got a little bit more perception. Which isn't saying much, but it's there. -3 to physical challenges. You shut your eyes hard against the swirling dust and somehow manage to walk in a straight line through it. Once you pass through and turn around, the dust storm settles. You wonder if walking through it somehow caused it to die down. There are opportunities, just not very often. Oh. You want to get to a valley of the spores, so this is way cooler than glass. Yeah, so I am nearly stressed to the max. Can I... No. Oh, I harvested the mushwood log. Cool. I want to see what this is. Your way is blocked by a strange small creature with 1 foot and 4 large eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 of which blink sideways on the top of its head like frog eyes. This must be a hop eye. You've heard people talk about them, but you've never seen one up close. It keeps thumping its foot on the ground really loud. What's its deal? It's a easy animals challenge. We can push past it or find another way around. Nope. What's its deal? Animals challenge. We're doing it. Heck yeah, we're doing it. Alrighty. What do I have here? Lots of 1s. Maybe we just robo-power this. Could also do a straight, which I think is slightly better. Yeah. We're gonna super goal this next round, obviously. I guess that's the higher value. Alrighty. Super gold. For extra animals. And a kudo. +1 to animals and +1 to perception, too. Nice. You stop trying to get past it and just listen. Oh, you can hear little squeaking noises from nearby. It's probably warning you away from its nest. You carefully avoid the nest while speaking in soothing tones. The agitated little guardian titters warnings at you, but eventually lets you by. You think it's calling for help? Nope, it's just being protective. You're too worn out and tired to continue. You have to go home now. Yep. We did many challenges. We've got an extra 2 bravery, an extra 1 perception, and some friendship with Dis. It's Vertimilia! Time for speeches, games, and feasting! You stare hungrily at the feast table. Surely it's mostly soy rations, but it's still more food than you usually see all at one time. This year, though, there's something new. Great big tureens of glowing beans. Weird. You try to sneak some food before the speeches start, but Chief Engineer Instance catches you and smacks your hand away. Your mom gets really mad at her, and it causes a huge yelling match. Your dad directs you away from the table as Instance blames your mom for the way things are right now. Whatever that means. Your dad passes you a soy sweet to keep your tummy busy during the speeches. He's the best. Geez, all you wanted was a snack before the speeches because you're a growing teen. Teenagers all consume food in large quantities because their bodies are busy. Oh boy, here we go. Let's see if we can do this voice again. Governor Udicott takes the stage and manages to calm everyone down. Welcome everyone to our 4th Vertumnilia celebration, she says, speaking through a maxophoner. Her voice has been getting weaker lately and can't reach across the square the way it used to. Yeah, if we'd spent more time in the biolab, we'd know more about this. We're running short on Earth foods. I'm proud, as always, to stand before you as your governor and to celebrate another year of peace and prosperity on this beautiful planet. Udicott steps aside, wobbling a little as she walks, leaving Seek to complete the annual formalities. Oh, she's showing her age. Your mom steps forward. This year's feast includes a new glow-in-the-dark food. Pixie beans are our first domesticated Vertumnan crop. The crowd applauds, and your mom raises her hands. Credit goes to Geranium. He insisted we dedicate a third of our fields to them, so you'll also have him to thank for the light show in your toilets tonight. A smattering of laughter ripples through the crowd. Your dad chuckles nervously. Your mom's smile fades. As you know, we lost our hydroponics and microbial soil during the wormhole accident, she says. These pixie beans will make up for the losses we faced with our earth crops. Udicott's weedy voice rattles through the maxophoner. Thank you, everyone. Let's get on with the games. The crowd packs away the chairs as the children gather in the square. Which competition do you participate in this year? The science fair, obviously. Obviously. Our rebellion is a 5, again. Tangent's science fair project is monstrously complicated. She gives a 20-minute speech about cell division in a few different Vertumnian species that goes not just over your head, but the heads of everyone in the crowd. What is she even doing locked up in the lab all day? Instance is intrigued. She asks Tange a series of questions, soon honing in on something Tange overlooked. Tange is so upset with herself she can barely finish answering. Why is it that Tange always ends up like this at the end? Like, she's a genius, you guys. Please be impressed with her. But we can't afford to just stress our way through it. Yeah, no kidding. We will lose some of this stress because of the festival, so don't worry about it too badly. All right, reasoning challenge. Let's go for our project. If this is the highest value, get +1. And we are actually gonna do these. Heck yeah, next round. A 6. No, actually, we're gonna do this. Yeah. 6, 5, 4, 3. We don't have a 2. But we can do a little bit of this. We got the goal. +2 bonus to pairs. That is actually slightly higher. Because of the bonus to pairs. This is the second time we've legitimately won the science fair without pushing or cheating. Pushing our stress or cheating. Not that we had the stress to push, but still, we did it. Heck yeah, extra reasoning. Let's go. Your project this year is on power generation, explaining the ways the colony will be able to generate power once the nuclear engines eventually need to be turned off. You've compared the efficiencies of burning mushwood pellets, spark snow, or the thin oil they found under the southern swamps. You'd love to outfit the colony with solar power, but those panels are full of precious metals you haven't found alternatives for on Vertumna. You conclude that wind and hydroelectric power are the easiest to maintain and the most sustainable, impressing everyone with your working model of a hydroelectric dam. They're afraid that she'll be so impressed by her own genius that she'll push ahead and cause disaster by missing basics that are beneath her. I mean, there is that, but like, the entirety of the crowd couldn't follow her, and yet the only person who could pushed and pushed until they found a flaw. Like, that should have been a conversation for after the fair, to be like, hey, you did a wonderful job. The only flaw I found was this thing. And I think that if you look into it, you'll do even better next time. Like, Instance is not a very personable person. Professor Hal absolutely would have done that. But, like, yes, she's young, and yes, she needs to be aware that she can't find any detail beneath her, but at the same time, pointing that flaw out in public? Come on. It's just not right. Finally, it is time for the feast. The pixie beans are a hit. Your parents keep touting their many benefits. They grow well here, they're super nutritious, taste great, they're very versatile, and kids love the bright multicolor glow. Your rumbling stomach has made you grouchy. Your parents won't let you eat until they finally stop bragging about their dumb beans. You consider the options: pixie bean soup, pixie bean salad, pixie bean chili, even pixie bean aquafaba dessert. Everything glows in the evening twilight. You sullenly shove your pixie bean everything around on your plate. You don't even want to eat them anymore. Stupid beans, stupid feast, stupid games, stupid everyone. Arrgh! Every time someone turns to talk to you, especially about how great these beans are and how great your parents are for growing them, you just get more irritated. They're just beans. It's like they love these beans more than they love you. You're probably just hungry. Yeah, and hormonal. We're hangry is what's happening. We're popular, we're stressed out, and we're hormonal. Let's just eat our pixie beans. You want to rebel against these stupid beans, but the truth is, you're too hungry to resist. You count backwards from 10 to calm yourself down so you don't blow up at your mom. Why is she smiling all the time? Arrgh! You settle on glowering at her over your plate of glowing beans. She notices, but just purses her lips and turns away from you to talk to someone else. Rude. Yeah, hangry and hormonal, man. It's just the worst. Ooh, more cards connected to gems. You shovel food into your mouth, trying not to look like you're enjoying it. Okay, it is as delicious as everyone said, and you start to feel more human the more you eat. Right, yeah, food. Food is great. Yeah, I'm not missing that. I don't miss it either. See, and then we're at half stress now. You do feel better after you eat something. Everyone's in high spirits after dinner, breaking off into little groups to talk or make music together as the sky darkens for the shortest night of the year. You feel your mood improve by the minutes as your friends pull you into a fun rhythmic clapping game. Being hangry is awful. As your irritation fades, you wonder if this is what congruence meant when she warned you that your hormones would make you feel out of control sometimes. When you go back to your quarters to get ready for bed, your dad gives you a big hug. It's exactly what you needed. Thank you for the hydrate, Plague. I needed it. Water is good. I already finished my coffee. Early dust turns into mid-dust. Whew. Well, we snuck out, and then we snuck back in. Oh, she's bouncing the ball. Good, good, good. Tange, I got you a present. Yes. She got another talk about puberty today. But she is going through genetic recombination therapy, so it's fine. Also, I have something for you. Would you like a pretty yellow flower? Okay. She likes the yellow flowers. You were spot on, Plague. I suppose this might be of scientific interest, Tange says, analyzing the flower. She pulls a petal off of it to look at. Yes, I'll have to look at this under a microscope. So, we could say, I hope you find it useful, or we could flirt. Uh-oh. Raptor Squeak, welcome in. Glad to see you again today. Lovely, lovely to have you. Greetings, gamer of gamery gaming. Yeah, I game. I do. I can flirt now. This is the first opportunity I've had to flirt. We just hit the puberty, so the flirting is now on the table. Do we flirt with Tange, who is arguably our highest relationship? Or do we flirt with Cal instead? You legally have to flirt. I am the person who flirts with everyone. This is true. In any game that you guys have seen me capable of flirting in, I flirt with everyone. But it's May. Of course she's going to flirt. I do love to flirt. I don't always mean anything by it, but I do love to flirt. It's fun. Lovely to be here while I work on assignments. Very chill, very comfortable. I'm glad, Raptor. I do try to be a chill vibe. Try being the case. Sometimes I get on my soapbox and then, ooh boy. You're more beautiful than any flower, Tangent. She grimaces. Please don't say that. She turns to walk away, then remembers herself. Thank you for the flower, she adds formally. So now we know everything but her dislike and her relationship, which, you know, she's 12. We're 13. Next year, she might actually respond to the flirting. Oh, plague. I'm gonna refund that because I had decided on flirting regardless of the vote. So, but thank you for trying to crown yourself as ruler of the vote. She may have more than one like. It's possible. I don't think I'm far enough in the game to know for certain. Yep, nope, you're still doing that. Hey, Dis. Oh, you still think you're a changeling? Okay. Dad's losing his shirt at cards again. Silly dad. Governor Udicott is here, frowning over a holoscreen with your mother. It has a lot of numbers on it and charts that point downwards. Your mom looks up and dismisses the screen. Do you need something, Mayrin? Oh, dear. Oh, dear. That's not good. That bodes not so well. Cal is being Cal. He is a year older than us, by the way. Or he's at least 14. We don't know anything about him, but he's our first childhood friend. I'm gonna give him a mushwood log. Because it can. Neat, Cal exclaims, taking your gift and peering at it inquisitively. I don't know what I'll do with it, but I love it. Thank you. Okay. Does not like the logs. That's not his favorite. Good to know. He at least appreciated the gift. Unlike Mars. Ah. She's freaking out over Calm being the coolest person in the colony. I mean, he is hot. He does have pretty art. Do we have a collectible inside the walls today? No, it does not look like it. But I will look. I will look. Alright, are we going back to biology class or are we going back to exploration? Cal seems like the type to like a good cake. It's possible. We're kind of saving our kudos at the moment. You needed to make me flirt. I mean, that's funny. She likes biology, so probably those roots, right? No, her brother. Her brother likes the medicinal roots. We know that Dis likes medicinal roots. We know that Tangent likes yellow flowers. Maybe there are more likes, but considering the size of the boxes, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe they stretch. We know that Mars likes crystal clusters. That's what we know. We did give Tangent cake for her birthday one year. She wasn't fussed about it. We also know that she's not big on sweets, so... do we go back to exploring outside the walls, or do we just go back to biology class for... We're so close to getting the perk for... the first perk for biology that I think we should just go back to class, honestly. I'm just making guesses in hopes that I'm right and will seem like a mastermind. I mean, Plague, you've already masterminded a couple of times. Just for being genre savvy. Tammy always breaks my heart when she dies. Can we not save her, Raptor? Is it not possible? I don't like that she's dead either. She's so sweet. And she was so scared to leave the ship, and it's the ship that killed her. I hate it. Honestly, I hate it. She didn't deserve that. Absolutely not. This week in biology class, you're learning about predators and prey. Chief Engineer Instance brings up a picture of a hopeye on the holoprojector and asks, "What is this animal, and what does it do when it sees a predator?" Tange's hand shoots up. They hop away very quickly. That's why we call it a hopeye. Instance shakes her head. Tange, you should know better than that. Many prey animals run away from predators. What do only hopeyes do? Tange blushes and looks down at her lap, mortified that she got a question wrong. Instance scans the class again. Anyone else? Mayrin. Also, guess who just bought I Was a Teenage Exocolonist? This biche. Nice, Plague. Thank you. I don't get a kickback for you buying the game. I just promote the game. !game in the chat if anybody else would like the link to the Steam store where I got it. It was on sale when I bought it, and it might still be on sale. You can check. But we have the card Hopeye Facts already. We can get it again. They thump on the ground to warn others. You've seen Hopeyes out in the wild, and you know they're very communal animals. One wouldn't run away without warning the others first. Then they all hop away very quickly. Correct. Instance nods. Tange gives you an appraising look. Maybe she didn't expect this from you. She should. We're just as smart as she is. We have the brain perk. So now we have it twice. We don't have any gem cards this time. So we are going to hold on. We didn't have any gem cards in that run, but I just wanted now, we've hit the super goal. We could. There was a straight in there. That gave us a single point more. Just a single point more. This is the highest score we can get. Alrighty. Tange, we are a smart girl. How many times do I gotta say it? Steam's showing me that the game is half off for the next week. Yes! There you go. As I said, I got it while it was on sale, and I was pretty sure it was still on sale. I've been fervently looking for more games like iWatch. So far, say Our Life Beginnings and Always, Volcano Princess, and Growing Up. Yes. Our Life Beginnings does not have the card minigame in it, but it is a very similar type of game. I actually do have it. I've never finished it, though. Always, Volcano Princess, and Growing Up are similar games. There's a couple of, like, life sim, like, raising a princess sort of games that has, like, you making choices to raise skills and stuff for different endings that is fairly similar. I don't remember what their names are offhand, but this is a whole genre of game. Absolutely. Also, love how I only found out about this game because the developers for it made some games I grew up playing. That's awesome, Raptor Squeak. It's interesting how we find things in our life. The fairy doesn't show the highest hand, only the next better than yours. If there's a better one again, it won't show that. Yes, I'm aware, Trav, but like, even with the photo phoner bumping up the numbers on these two cards, because of the flush 5, this is the highest score. Like, it just is. So the fact that it could the next one up was only a point more was like, ah, yes, that's straight. Gives you an extra point. But we finally have the biology perk, which, ooh, xenobiology research. Neat. And more reasoning. Mid dust becomes late dust. In geoponics, which means we can unlock things over here. Explore the xenobotany lab. Hey, kiddo, your dad says, looking up from his work desk where he's dissecting a huge bell-shaped flower. Can you hand me that separator? I've really got my hands in things here. You hand him the tool, which he uses to wedge open some sort of weird, stoma-like opening inside the bell. Gooey purple nectar oozes out and pools on the desk. Whoa, he exclaims. I thought I'd drain this little beauty. Can you get a towel, I guess? You help him mop up the flower juice. Yuck! It's sticky and smells like rotting vegetables. When you're done, he looks at you with pride. You know, I've been thinking of getting one of you kids to come help me out with researching the native plants, he says. You think you might be able to break off some time to help your old man in the lab? I know you've been studying biology, he adds. It's not as glamorous as gene tech research with instants, but it is important. He grins. Let me talk to your mom about it tonight before you go telling her. She's not a fan of alien plants, you know? If it were up to her, we'd fill these greenhouses with earth plants and nothing else. But there's gotta be more to this planet that we can cultivate. If you find any cool plants while you're exploring, bring them here and we can take a look at them. Cool. We can go work with our dad in a way that we haven't before. So researching xenobiology gives us biology and organizing, as well as friendship with Cal, and the most kudos we can make right now. This might be our alternative to going to biology class. As much as I want more reasoning, getting organizing and biology up, as well as the kudos bump, this could be a nice alternative. Oh hey, they did rebuild. I remember that from way back. Yeah, I recognize their older games. And fantastic contraption. I'm glad we have a good gaming company that makes good games. They seem to be few and far between sometimes. Anywhoosy what's it? I'm gonna research xenobotany with Dad today because I think this is gonna be cool. Since we're doing biology, but that way we can also get organizing, which I would like more of anyway, so. Your dad introduces you to the little lab they have set up in one of the greenhouses. It's incredible, he says, gesturing all around him. We're surrounded by alien flora and we know practically nothing about it. What's edible? What's medicine? What can we make fibers with, or build with, or use in ways we haven't thought of yet? He beams at you. You and me, we're gonna find out, my little potato. I love all of his little nicknames for us. It's so cute. Your dad directs you to a research bench, and here's where you'll be working. The bench is buried under samples and beakers and weird-looking alien sprouts. More than just a simple table, the analysis bench is covered with buttons and little holes you can put things into. We could not touch anything. We could carefully find the on switch. We could stick something in a hole or press buttons at random. I'm pretty interested in Finji since they joined up with them. Finji does seem pretty into publishing indie games for the passion of it. Yeah. I'm glad that we are finding, or I'm glad that there are, I should say, more game publishers than there used to be. You don't have to go to the big game publishers that do what they do. we are finding games publishers that are willing to really consider beautifully passionate indie projects, much like this game. And I love that. I love that a lot. It speaks to the artistry and the passion that is in the gaming industry. And, you know, I'm hoping that someday the games industry isn't quite as toxic as it is currently, at least on the, like, corporate social side of things where, you know, overtime is required a lot of the times and stuff like that. Like, there needs to be a work-life balance. You know what I mean? Named myself Asteri in Iwat, which I believe is the Greek word for star. It is. It is, indeed. I'm going to carefully find the on switch, because I'm not a dum-dum. There is no switch. Yep, you looked everywhere. Okay. I'm going to press buttons at random. Let's find out what this bench does. You mash all the table's buttons until yo, 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 kiddo. Yo, 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 kiddo. It's Congruence. The friendly ship's computer beams at you from her own holoscreen set into the bench. Of course she's here. She's the guardian of all knowledge in the colony, after all. You wonder who she got yo, yo, yo from? Your dad laughs. Don't tell anyone, but Congruence is the real brains of the operation, he confesses, though it's not like it's a secret. She'll make sure we don't do anything super dangerous, which means you and I get to focus on experimentation. If you follow the rules and stick to what you already know, you won't learn anything new. So, don't be afraid to try stuff. Well, I didn't. I poked all the buttons just to see what happened. Here we go. Alright. One card is locked. We have the mystery of the weird smell locked into place. That is a really odd place for it to be. I mean, it meets the goal, but... interesting. Just simply a point more. I don't think there's any way I can do even better than that, honestly. Do-do-do. So +4 to biology, +2 to organizing. We got 30 kudos and some stress. And friendship with Cal. Don't you get a bonus for 4, 5, 6 in a row? I mean, not really. We don't have a bonus to straights, really. It's a rainy season. Early wet, which means that it is Mars's birthday. Got blue bobber fruit. You haven't seen your mom at mealtimes for a while. You're probably just missing her. She works really hard here, so she's likely working through lunch and dinner and then begging leftovers from the kitchens. We don't have organizing enough to tell her what we learned today, but we at least checked in with Mom. Dad is pretending that we might run this place someday. No. Absolutely not, Dad. Annie. Oh, she's bouncing around the sports ball. Don't blame her. Tange. Tange is working in the lab, taking notes on a vibrant vertumnium specimen.
Chief Engineer Instance has allowed me a great deal of intellectual freedom, she says. She does not see my age as an impediment to my contributions. In fact, she celebrates my youth. She says that it is the old who should look to the young for guidance, as we are unburdened by tradition. Tange allows herself a rare smile. In some ways, she is the mother I've always wanted, she adds quietly. My own mother was burdened by many things. Oof. Yikes. Yeah, I'll try giving Cal the fruit. Absolutely. Cal is digging... Oh. He's digging in the garden again. Hey. Have a bobber fruit. Yep, he likes food. Food! Cal grabs the fruit out of your hand, then remembers his manners. He gives you a big hug. Thanks, Mayrin. I'm starving. How did you know? Blue bobber fruits. I think we know everybody's likes except Annie's. She dislikes crystal clusters. She's the only dislike we know. We have their like, we have Dis's like, we have Mars's like. We don't have Tammy's like, but she's also not alive. And everybody else does not matter. So. Nice. Oh, he's going through his nerd phase again. Nope. Mars. Oh, she's just doing eyeshadow again? Okay. Well, well, well. Let us go back to helping Dad in the lab. Xenobotany, here we come. It's food and he's a teenager. I should have thought of that angle. Yeah, he's slightly older than us too, so we don't actually know his birthday. You're really in the groove, munching on Dayglow roasted pixie beans and feeling just good. Like everything is going right for once. You catch yourself giggling for no reason. For fun, you decide to put a pixie bean through the analyzer. Sure, your dad has already studied them, but there's gotta be stuff you still don't know about them. Like, you only just discovered today how incandescently delicious they are roasted. Maybe you can figure out why they glow. Then you could make everything glow. The analyzer spits out a bunch of info, and congruence helps you interpret it. She says, as if she really needs to ponder anything. These readings are different than the initial ones, suggesting possible amplification with certain hormones for higher bioreactivity in situ. In regular words, congruence, please. Pardon me, Mayrin. I mean, they might mess with the human brain functions under some conditions. We should perform the analysis again. Oh yeah. They're a drug. Stress. This sounds important. You run more samples of roasted pixie beans through the analyzer, but you only get more frustrated. Are you certain these are clean samples? Congruence asks. I'm detecting anomalies in the readings. Excuse me for asking, but have you washed your hands? Ew, Congruence, of course you have. You don't know what to do. You try everything, even scrubbing the beans clean with acid. Congruence reverts to her most robotic, focused entirely on figuring out this puzzle. When her normally chipper voice goes monotone and cold, it makes you feel so lost. You're never going to get this right. You start feeling to feel tears prickling your eyes. We don't have biology high enough, nor do we have the stress. So we're gonna have a meltdown because we're a teenager, and that just feels right now. Like, we could give up, but we're just gonna have a meltdown right now. You throw a temper tantrum like some little kid, sweeping the research bench clean of breakers, sending them crashing to the ground as you howl in frustration. It snaps Congruence out of her stupor, though. Mayrin, I insist that you stop that this instant. Some of this lab equipment is irreplaceable. You slump into a chair. What is wrong with you lately? Seriously, it's like your hormones are flying out of control. At least you feel better after your outburst. You munch on some pixie beans out of spite. Get it together, Mayrin. Get it together. Ah, dang. That did not give us the stress release we needed. You're having trouble concentrating on this dumb experiment anyway. Just a few hours ago you were ready to punch walls, but now you want to dance. You turn off all the lights in the lab so you can see the pixie beans glowing, and it gives you an idea. You decorate the lab equipment with them, putting beans on the centrifuges so they spin around and around and glow in the dark. You blast dance music through your hollow palm and have yourself a one-woman pixie bean rave. Peace, love, unity, and respect. Congruence tries a few times to get you back on task, but you just blow her off. What's with adults always trying to tell you what to do? You're 13 years old. You're not a baby anymore. Oh boy. We don't have a 2. That is the problem. Okay. Yep, that's precisely what it did too. You win! Biology, organizing, and kudos! Early wet to mid-wet. Hey, Mom. Your mom is staring solemnly at a wheelbarrow of withered, gnarly-looking crops. She says to the agriculturist entering the stock into his hollow palm. I hope this isn't going to be the case forever. We're going to be in real trouble soon. She looks up as you approach. Mayrin, do you need something? Mr. Scrake, welcome in. Thank you for the lurk. Time for a break? I mean... Our stress is pretty high, but we could still go and do things. Since we have an organizing high enough now, let's tell her what we learned today. Value is wild. You've been so busy lately, the only way you're able to get all your work done is to multitask. Studying while you're eating, brushing your teeth in the shower, listening to hollow novels while you're about to fall asleep. You have to double up everything. You kind of expect your mom to tell you to take it easy, but she just laughs and claps you on the back. You're my daughter, all right, she says. Just too much damn work, not enough hours in the day. I know how you feel. Hoo boy. Even Mom's working too hard. Dad with the flower. That's how he charmed our mom into having kids with him. Hey, Cal. Cal is digging up something in the garden, creating a neat little stack of vegetables in his wheelbarrow. Hey, Mayrin, he says, taking off his gloves to cart his hand through his hair. How's it hanging? Want to hear a fun nature fact? Returns to hand after played in multi-round challenges. Ooh, nice. You tell him about the time Tanj brought a skunk bug for show and tell in biology, and it got scared and made the worst, most smelliest, grossest stink you've ever smelled. And everyone thought Tanj had farted. Oh no. Then Professor Hal had to clear out the whole room, and it took weeks to get the smell out of the bean bags, and it was so gross. But also kind of neat. How such a tiny bug can make a whole room of kids run away. Cal laughs. Heck yeah. I remember that, Marin, except the way I heard it, it wasn't Tange. It was you. Well, maybe it was me. Beans and meat diet be like... Yeah, no kidding. Dis is skulking, leaning against the outer wall of the colony with his arms crossed. Mars called me a maladapted degenerate today, he says. Then she told me she's just trying to help. Like everything would be fine if I just acted like everyone else. He scowls. Everyone thinks we're so much better than the people we left back on Earth, but they're just as close-minded and stupid. I don't disagree, Dis. I really don't. I don't disagree. But Mars was being mean. Calm is the coolest person in the colony. Everyone likes him, unlike you. Ooh, was that mean? Yeah, that was mean. Should I have been that mean? No. No, I should not have. But I was that mean. Her mother was burdened by many things. It's all right, Tange. You're fine just the way you are. We like you. We like you. Ah. Annie's just hanging out, which is cool. Okay. Yeah, we just have the mush log, which she wasn't all that impressed with. Let's see here. We don't quite have the 200 I want for the thing I want in the store. So we're gonna go back to the xenobotany lab and get some research done because it pays the best. Hey, Squirt, your mom calls out to you. Don't you think it's time you started thinking about what you're gonna do when you're older? You look at her in confusion. Isn't she always telling you to stay in school? She chuckles. You gotta think about it sometime, kid. How about you come join your folks on the farm if you think you're up for it? We could. Or we could say we don't think we're ready. Are we still figuring it out, you guys? Or are we gonna go join our parents? Although we did say we wanted to be a professor someday, so I don't know if this decision is going to lock us into something. But we have a biology high enough to say, yeah, we're ready. Or we could say we're not ready yet. Chat, what do we think? Give me your thoughts on this. This isn't a vote necessarily. It's more I would like all of your guys' opinions, and that does mean that our resident expert Raptor Squeak can weigh in on whether or not this locks an option, but not whether or like what the outcome is. If he would like. Say yes, you can change your mind later. It might give you more research opportunities, or should we stay away from the pixie beans? I don't know. The pixie beans got us. Say yes. Flulu is such an adorable and great person. I always love to help Mom. I mean, she is pretty awesome. I'm pretty sure that she's a former soldier. But she definitely is hardcore gardener. Either that, or she lost a leg in an agricultural accident with a big, heavy machine. Not entirely certain, but she is, like, all muscles and badass. You seem the academic type. Look, there is plenty of academics in farming. And, the faster that we figure out what is edible and useful amongst the plant life that is native to this planet, the faster we don't die of hunger. Just saying. She was drunk and picked a fight with a combine harvester. Look, she doesn't want to talk about it, okay? Trav, you and your humor, I love you. Oh, I love it, I love it. Even though your mother is awesome. Yeah, she is awesome. Okay. I mean, I'm really an engineer, but there's a lot of engineering in farming, too. I'm ready. Ooh. Your mom clasps you on the back. Oof, she is just as strong as she looks. Great, she says. Come see me in geoponics when you're ready to start. It'll be more fun than wheeling dirt around, I promise. All right, well, we've unlocked a thing. Farming does a lot for toughness. It's a great one. Yeah. I mean, our toughness is bullshit right now, but yes. This value is wild. Wild card values match as all pairs or straights. Interesting. We don't have any gem cards in this draw. But we could do something a little bit like this. So it is currently doing 2 of a kind for both the 6 and the 4. Which is really, really awesome. Yeah, I like. I mean, I'm still up for us all turning into mushroom people, but y'all just don't seem to like that plan. I'd rather join them than be used as compost. Yeah. I kind of agree with Trav on that one. Let me see here. Well, we win. I could press this button. I see. I mean... Why is it giving me lower? That's bullshit. Yep. Very weird, but it's fine. We win! More biology and organizing for us. And kudos. The kudos are the important part. Well, it's all important. Plus, friendship with Cal. We finally get to up our friendship with Cal, even though Tangent is almost maxed. Mid-wet turns into late wet. We're 1 month closer to the scary times where things go horrifically wrong every year. Your mom mutters to herself as she pulls potatoes from the ground in clusters barely larger than your palm. Still, you hear her say before her head jerks up and she sees you standing there. I didn't see you there, Mayrin. What do you need? Yeah, the earth plants aren't doing well. It's bad. Hey, Sunberry, your dad greets you. Working hard or hardly working? He laughs and ruffles your hair. Yuppers. Hey, Gal. He's just planting seeds, but we don't have the biology or the ability to gift him anything. Dis is muttering about social things. Sadly. To himself. Annie is willing to share her dust melon lunch, which is awesome. And, Tange is talking about how science is everything. Again. Yep. Mars, what's going on? Ah, her walks. Yep. She's got a walk for every occasion. Just a note from personal experience, don't use a full hand of wild cards. Every card being wild makes it worthless. Good to know, Raptor. Thank you for letting me know. That's weird. Ah, yes, that wild card probably screwed up the calculations. No, actually, I don't think it did. I think the calculations were fine with the wild card. I just don't think the perk is calibrated properly all the time. I chose having no modification because it seemed the least optimal, which means there has to be something cool because of it. Good luck with that, Plague. I'm gonna view the notice board. Colony food shortfall, 100%. Dangerously low. That's what I was looking for. And of course, the gates will be closed during glow. And this is the same as it has been for a while. With Instance and Utopia having stepped into positions. There's a benefit, I know what it is, and it's a good one. There you go. So what we're saving up for is this. The brain trainer. Because I want the skills. So we're there. We're at a nice number, but we're not quite there yet. However, let's see what working on the farm gives us. Biology toughness, not as many kudos as researching in the xenobotany lab. So we're gonna stick with the xenobotany lab, but there we go. That is, work on the farm does give us that. We still have just enough room to fit in another round of this, so we're gonna do that. Wildcards are great to have once you have more equipment. There's like 1 for 2 times value to straights. Wildcards make straights so easy. Yeah. I see that. May, to answer your question, you can definitely save Tammy. Good to know, Plague Doctor. Good to know. Perhaps in my next run I will save her. It's bullshit she has to die. It's bullshit. She's too young. The colony used some recycled spaceship parts to build new structures, but most new construction is made of mushwood, a fungal lumber harvested from the mushrooms that tower over the forest in wet season. It's strong, tall, and versatile, like bamboo was back on Earth, but the downside of harvesting fungus in wet is that the logs need to be dried out for almost 2 months before they can be used in construction. This doesn't tell me why this is grayed out. Maybe if you study the mushwood, you can figure out a way to shorten the drying time. You'll need to get your hands on some mushwood to study. 3 pieces should do. Oh, that's why I need 3 pieces of mushwood in my inventory. I think I have 1. Doesn't tell me how many I have. Guess I'll come back with it later. Interesting. So this is locked, which is fine. We could do all the 3s. And this one, because it will give us an extra point on the skills. Four of a kind and a flesh 5. Yes, these have higher values, but I want this. And this 4 of a kind is powerful. I win. Yes. We're almost to the second biology perk. And organizing has gotten up pretty high, and we're closer to the thing I want. It's been a long month of being cooped up indoors while it poured rain and everything got too muddy and gross to play outside. You and the other teens are in the lounge, again, and everyone's getting a little antsy. Tangent and Cal are bickering about something, and Dis must be bored enough that he's letting Mars paint his fingernails. Annie is trying to do a dance she learned from watching holovids, and she's failing miserably. The sound of her music fills the room. You're starting to feel a little off, too. But, it's weird. You want to yell, but at the same time, you want to take off all your clothes and streak through the colony square. Oh, hormones, man. Annie dances a little too close to Mars's collection of nail polish, bumping into the table and sending them all and herself clattering to the floor. Hey, watch it, Dis snaps. Dance your stupid dance somewhere else. It's not stupid, Annie sniffles from the floor. You don't have to be so mean to me. Boo-hoo, Mars teases. What are you gonna do? Dance about it? Ugh, you're all so childish. Who even cares? Hey, everyone, just shut up, Cal exclaims from across the room. Honestly, you all fight all the time. You stay inside when it's nice and dry, and you don't appreciate how hard everyone else is working. It's just whine, whine, whine. Oh man, the hormones are thick today. You're not better just because you work outside, Tange joins in. You're not special, Cal. If I wanted to, I could work outside. She opens her holopalm and flies her fingers over the screen. There, see? Next month, I'll be working in geoponics. How do you like that? Then you can nag me about my soft hands all you want. Udicott pokes her head in from the command corridor. Children, keep it down. We can hear you all the way from the bridge. Everyone goes quiet for about a second, and then explodes into arguing again. Udicott throws her hands in the air and retreats down the hallway in defeat. Oh yeah, it is Hormone City at this room. They chucked all the teenagers in one room together. What did they expect? Yeah, no kidding. Next month is Glow Month, so we might just be chilling anyway, because it's hella dangerous. So do we go wild? Do we encourage fighting? Do we scream for everyone to shut up? Or do we try to calm everyone down? I don't think trying to calm everyone down is going to do anything, but we could certainly try. Chat, what do you think? I'd love to hear your thoughts. And lurkers, beware. I still appreciate you. Chatting and interacting with me is optional, as always. Yell at everyone to just shut up. That's probably going to be the most effective to stopping the nonsense, but it may not do anything. This is an opportunity to gain those triple rebel points and probably make some enemies. Let's go for 3. It's true. We're probably, well, actually, I think going wild or encouraging the fight is going to up the rebellion. The other two might up our loyalty. But I don't know what the actual effects behind them are. I just feel like... Alright. Everyone just shut up. This is what we're going with. Wish us luck. Loyalty. I have 0 rebellion. Even during a period when my rebellion increases are tripled. Everyone ignores you and keeps squabbling. Mars chases Cal and everyone else chases her, and somehow you all end up in the classroom. Suddenly Mars shouts, "Okay, everyone, everyone!" She claps her hands. 1, 2, 3, look at me. Everyone, shut up. Everyone stops arguing and looks at Mars in shock. I have an idea, she says. We should decorate the classroom. No one seems excited by this prospect until she adds, with toilet paper. Come on, it'll be pretty. Now everyone's on board. You can feel yourself getting excited too. This is so naughty. You might get in trouble, but who cares? You're having fun. Do we try to stop them from this madness? Do we join them? Or do we make it into a competition? We are about to toilet paper the classroom. Sounds wasteful. It is absolutely wasteful. It's not egging the classroom, though. Mr. Scrake always wants me to fulfill my destiny and head to the dark side. I already know the dark side has better healthcare and cookies, so Mr. Scrake, I'm already there, mind you. I am lawful evil. Thank you very much. People think I'm neutral good. It's not true. Or is it? Jury's out. You're a chaotic good. Are you, though? Are you sure? I'm going to... Making it into a competition is going to make things get out of hand. Trying to stop them is not going to do any good. So if you can't beat them, join them, I think is the way to go here. You join the others in throwing rolls of toilet paper over anything you can reach, decorating the classroom with roll after roll of white gauzy garland. By the time you're finished, it drapes off every desk and science experiment. Mars looks at your work with satisfaction. Much better, she says. Chief Engineer Instance finally arrives to see what all the noise is and throws her hands up in dismay. The kids scatter before she can make anyone clean up. The next day you all feel terrible. It feels like your arms and legs are made of lead, and it takes so much energy to do anything. You can barely make it out of bed. All the energy from yesterday has been drained out of you, and then some. It lasts for a week. Some of you can't even get out of bed, and when you do, your moods are all over the place. Aggressive, sulky, impulsive, until your batteries run out and you sleep for over 12 hours straight. Yeah, hormones, man, they're rough. The inner mechanisms of my mind are an enigma. You're resting in the lounge with your friends, watching holovids and grazing on roasted pixie beans, when your dad and Chief Engineer Instance come storming through the door. You! Instance snaps, smacking the bowl of pixie beans out of Mars's hand. Stop eating those this instant. They're drugs. Mars looks like she's about to smack some sense into Instance, but your dad steps in. I'm sorry, everyone. We were wrong about the pixie beans. They're not safe for you kids to be eating. You've been feeding us poison? Mars shrieks. Oh, ew, 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 ew. Do my dads know you tried to kill me? Your dad spreads his hands. No, they're not. Don't worry, Mars. Calm down. They're not poison. There's just a chemical in them that hyperbonds to estrogen and testosterone. Your big teenage growing hormones, and the brain likes binding to that new macromolecule a lot more than the regular kind. It's been making your moods unpredictable and causing periods of hypo and hypermania. Yeah. That's why we've all been acting like bipolar crazy people. When Mars just stares blankly at him, he laughs, awkwardly. Translation, he says, it's been making you kids act silly and feel sick. I'm sorry. Oh, I see. Just those two. That's an interesting thing. Those two and no others. Instance frowns. If it's doing this to kids, it's not long until it builds up enough to affect the rest of us too. Until further notice, no one is to eat a single pixie bean. Yep. But now we only have the stressed out one. Your dad looks distraught. Flulu was right, he says, collapsing in a nearby chair and rubbing his eyes. She didn't trust these things, but shit, she's still going to be pissed that we don't have another successful food source. You look at him in shock. You hardly ever see him swear. It must be worse than you think. Your dad sits there in silence for a long time. And it's glow season. We are too stressed out to do any work whatsoever. You find Dis illuminated by only the glow of his holoscreen. It's easier to read when it's dark, he explains. There is less glare. This is the best season. You are a mole person, aren't you? Aren't you, Dis? I think he's adapting to the world a lot faster than everybody else. Annie is out and about, running around, playing, of course. We have to rest. Yeah. Stay where you can see us. I know, Mom. We could rest in the lounge and maybe hang out with Cal and Tange. Or we could rest in the quiet spot and hang out with Dis. Either way, it is the only thing that we can do. Because we are stressed. We cannot apply for lookout duty because we don't have perception. Our perception is a 6. We have been hanging out with Dis to do de-stressing just because we wanted to make him have at least a friend. So that's what I'm gonna do. Yep, it's a third of the field's useless overnight. The view from the wall during glow is absolutely breathtaking. The wormhole seems to smother the sky like a swirling jewel-toned bowl, pressing down on the gloom. Everything in the wilderness is lit up and seems to breathe in and out with the planet, like one living creature made of stars. It's beautiful. You could almost forget how dangerous it is. Almost. Okay, we're not getting rid of Absorbent Brain. So it looks like we're getting rid of one of the 2 Hop-Eye facts. We do have a duplicate in here, so we're not getting rid of it entirely. I would have preferred, like, giggling or first steps. We have 3 science fair champions. But Hop-Eye facts is fine. Another year, another glow. Everyone's pretty sure there's going to be an attack this year, so the colony is on high alert. You're collecting glowflies in the geoponics garden with Cal and Annie when the sirens begin to wail. You all stop what you're doing and look at each other nervously. Your parents run off to help defend the farms, telling you to get inside the greenhouses and stay quiet. Annie declares she's going to the walls to watch the soldiers fight. You know, she knows a good spot. We don't have the bravery to help defend the gates. We can watch from the walls or get inside and stay quiet like our parents requested of us. Annie's going to the walls. We're not as good of friends with her as we are most everyone else. Cal may come with us if we go to the walls. This time go watch. All right, we could do that, absolutely. I do have an ad break incoming, so just for those of you that's relevant to, please be advised. Watching from the walls to see what is going on may give us a good idea of how close our visions of the future, so to speak, are to what we know / remember / dream. Oh, we got friendship with Annie. You and Annie race towards the walls and scramble up so you can watch from a safe distance. Do we miss anything? She pants. Oh, look, there's my brother, Com. Com, up here. Com looks around for the source of the voice, squinting up at you when he spots you on the walls. He yells up at you to stay put, and then the animals burst through the gates. The wood splinters in every direction, and Hop-Eyes pour in, quickly overwhelming the guards. Hop-Eyes are small, but in large numbers, they're fierce. You watch the security officers manage the chaos. They have gloves that shoot arcs of lightning, and if you watch close, you can practically see the skeletons of the little animals light up from within when they're hit. Cool. So, I now have a single point in combat. Look at him go, Annie cries, cheering for her brother. Get him! Come! Watch out! Oh, he's okay. She clutches your arm. He's so brave. I want to be cool like him when I grow up. You could really impress Annie by going down there and helping out. Unfortunately, we can't. We're going to stay where it's safe. Eventually, the defense forces manage to push back the creatures. The rest of their broken swarm flee back into the wilderness. You and Annie slip home before you get into trouble. Your parents are arguing quietly at your little table. Telling you it wasn't a fluke, your mom says. They're not They're not just wild animals. They have a plan. The field, the lights. Okay, your dad replies, taking her hand across the tabletop. We have to tell people what we saw in geoponics. They look up, noticing you in the doorway. Your dad's worried expression quickly changes to a smile. Hey, Rutabaga. What happened to the fields? Your mom stands up. Don't worry about that, she snaps. Get to bed. It's late. And we have a lot of work to do tomorrow to clean up. Oh, we don't even get an answer? Rude. It is now our birthday. This is how our year has gone. We have earned 152 kudos. We currently have 10 stress. And we have earned +5 loyalty, -1 food, +0 defenses. Oh boy. We have gained a lot of skills. A lot of skills. And a lot of cards. We've had friendship ups with all of these people. All of them. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And we are now age 13, so we are 4 years into this, going on 5, and then obviously something's gonna happen here and here. So, time to start age 14. Art is changing for everybody as we grow up. Here is our new character art now that we are 14. Look at Annie. Annie scratches at her cheek, then scowls as a bit of blue scales flake off. Stupid acne, she mutters. On top of everything else, I got this too? Yeah, I feel you, girl. Tangent just decided no hair. Annie grew hers out. Look at how badass she looks, though. Tangent looks up from her hollow palm, blinking as her eyes refocus on the middle distance, and then on you. Her previously long hair is gone, buzzed close to her scalp. You almost didn't recognize her when you first saw her. You wonder if it's caused by a lab accident or something. Hello, Mayrin, she says, already cagey. Did you need something? No, I just came to say hello. The faintest hint of relief passes across Tanja's face. You get the impression that not pressing her on her personal appearance was a wise choice. Oh, well, hello then, Tanj replies. She raises her hand as if to push her hair out of her face, but stops when she realizes what she's doing. I'm rather busy at the moment, actually, so if you don't mind, you can take the hint. Tangent looks rad. She does. Absolutely she does. Breaking a chemical bond both requires and releases energy. Whichever one is greater determines whether it is exothermic or endothermic reaction, Tanj says, tapping her fingers against the laboratory table. I wonder if there are similar classifications for when the bonds between family are broken, and new ones are created with others. She sighs. Chief Engineer Instance is the closest I have to what a family is supposed to be. Well, I don't have a pretty yellow flower for her. But that's that. Oh, look at Dis. He looks cool. Emo boys always look cool. You catch Dis scrolling through his holopalm. I used to watch a lot of videos, he says, frowning. I don't know why. It's all garbage. Who cares about this stuff? It's not real. Dis gestures to the wilderness. That's real. Yep. Sure is. We don't have any medicinal roots, though. Cow. Aw, he's a cutie. Cal is standing in the garden watching a pair of Dorb's moth flutter overhead. They're the worst, he says, frowning. We gotta find a better place to put the grain, because they just get in everywhere. You'd be surprised what kind of hole they can squeeze through. Fair. Hey, Dad. Your dad doesn't have time to chat, but he waves hello. That's exactly how I dressed. I told you this is just me. Plague, how did you get into the game? Ah, your mom is muttering over potatoes again. Oh dear. Let's see how Mars looks. Ooh, she's cute. She's cute. I mean, she's popular girly, but she's cute. Ugh, Mars whines. Nothing ever happens here. Please, 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 just anything. I'm dying here. I've watched every holovid, and I've done every quiz and every holozyne, and I'm so tired of being a teenager on this stupid rock. It's been almost 5 years, and I don't even have a boyfriend. I assure you, you wouldn't know what to do with a boyfriend, Mars. You wouldn't even know what to do. Ay, ay, ay. All right. Well, with all of... Ooh, crystal. We know who likes crystals. Mars likes crystals. We're going to save it for her birthday, though. Let's earn that perk, or earn that equipment that we want out of the store, shall we? Still waiting on collecting those mushwood samples. You can putter around the lab working on other stuff in the meantime, but you really need those samples if you want to move ahead with that project. They're just asking me to sneak out. No gem cards. Lots of 4s. Interesting. Well, I am hooked on my holopalm. I like multitasking. And we gonna get that extra skill. See, I can get a higher score with this. Howsomever, I want the extra skill. So even if I press this button, I'm not gonna keep it. It's not worth pressing that button. It's already super gold, so... Mars, Dis, and Cal are literally the only boys here your age, and neither seem interested in dating you. Look, I'm more interested in Tangent. Just saying. Heck yeah. 6 in biology. We've almost gotten the next biology boost, and organizing is coming up, and the kudos are where it's at. We are 1 kudo shy from getting what we want, so here we are. It's your birthday! You wake from a night of blissfully peaceful dreams. No nightmares, no premonitions, just a pleasant feeling of contentment. You stretch your arms over your head, blinking in the watery, quiet sunlight that seeps through the porthole window. Things are always changing on Vertumna, but you can't help but feel like things are changing for yourself, too. Not just your body, but your mind, your emotions, your future. 14 is going to be your year. Your parents have been working around the clock since the last attack, trying to get the fields right again in time for this year's planting. Spark snow has already started falling, and every day they come home complaining about having to clear it. They asked you to ping them when you are awake so you can share birthday breakfast in your quarters instead of sitting shoulder to shoulder with everyone else during breakfast service in the canteen. You fire them a message and lie back in your bunk, watching dust motes float lazily in the light. After a minute, there's a knock at the door. It's Auntie Sedent. She sweeps into your room in a bustle of skirts and shawls and sits down beside you on your bunk. "Oh, look at you," she says. "Happy birthday, beautiful. 14 years old." She leans in and gives you a motherly kiss on the forehead. It's been years since she took care of you in the children's crèche, but all the kids still call her Auntie and think of her as a close relative. Her sweet baking bread smell is as comforting as it ever was. She sits back and takes one of your hands in both of hers. "Mayrin, ever since I held you in my arms as a baby, I knew you were so special, so important. You're becoming a young woman, and I want you to know I will always, always be here for you, just like your mom and dad," she says firmly. Okay, enough with the mushy stuff. Are we smart for our age? There's a gem involved. Thanks, Auntie Sedent. Or I don't want to grow up. I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. If you're not from the US, you probably won't get that reference. Oh, obviously you try to date Tangent. Yeah. That's ominous. Yeah, why are our parents not here precisely? They said they'd be here. I'm gonna go for the gems, because I have cards in my deck that want the gems, and they never roll up together, so this would double the ability to get them. And get that combo going. Okay, enough with the mushy stuff. Oh, rebellion went up. I just got rid of it. It's fine. She laughs and releases your hand. Well then, Miss Maturity, how about you call me Auntie Anne from now on. Aunt Anne from now on, like the other adults do. Now come on in here, Aunt Anne says, spreading her arms wide. Give us a great big hug. You hug her, enveloping yourself in the warm and familiar softness of her. Over her shoulder, you see Annie standing in the doorway. Well, her hair, anyway. She's been growing it out, and there's no hiding it behind a corner. Yeah, they're not related at all. No. She skips into your quarters. Happy birthday, bud, she says, bouncing on your bunk. Way to get older. Enjoy being 2 years older than me for a few months. Thanks. It's good you're both here, Anne says. Now that you've both been menstruating for about a year. Annie makes a face and mutters, yuck. But Anne continues. You're both eligible for the cessation implant, among other things. It will prevent the bleeding and pain and the emotional roller coaster of your monthly cycle. Blah. Mom! Annie hollers. Rose, do you have to tell everyone about my cycle? I just don't want to get pregnant, okay? Anne laughs. Well, yes, that is the among other things part, but I don't expect you two to be needing that part for a few years yet, right? Annie looks disgusted by the prospect, or maybe just by her mom talking about it. Eek, Grossaruni. What's the matter, scared? Or do we just flirt? Maybe one day the two of us could... That was something I was not expecting to hear. The fuck? This game does not hold anything back, Winter Fairy. The kiss symbol here is the flirt option. So do we flirt with the person that we have the least amount of friendship with? Like literally, even the dead girl has more friendship with us than we do with Annie. Tangent is our highest, Cal's second. Dis is coming along. Mars is still low. I can see that. Nobody wants me to flirt with the sporty girl. All right. What's the matter, scared? No, Annie exclaims, punching in the arm. No, of course not. It's just super sucks that now everyone's talking about how I'm becoming a woman and how I'll finally look different than my brothers. Duh. She points at you. Don't you start too. I'll still kick your ass at sports ball, even with cramps. She will too, because, I mean, look at our toughness. That's bullshit. She's rad, but you don't know her at all. I don't think she'll appreciate anyone talking about that right now. That's also true. There are our parents. Your parents finally arrive, still damp from the fields and bringing in the smell of crisp, tangy snow on their clothes. Oh, look, birthday visitors, your dad exclaims. Anne, are you staying for breakfast? Anne reaches into her bag and brings out a stack of tiffins. No, thank you, but I brought your order with me from the kitchens, seeing as I was stopping by. She pats your hand one more time. Happy birthday again, Mayrin. You'll always be my baby, even when you're all grown up. Your mom shakes her head as Anne and Annie leave. Oh, Anne. She laughs, sentimental to the core. She starts laying out the cutlery for breakfast. But I don't know how the colony would manage without her in the children's crèche, she says, and points a fork at you. Family is more than the people that birthed you, Mayrin, and don't you forget it. It's true. It absolutely is. Otherwise, how would marriage work? Mid-quiet time. Hey, Cal. Cal trundles by you with an empty wheelbarrow. Hey, Mayrin, he calls out. Get in, we're going planting. Oh, he's cute. I would have been into him in high school. That's for sure. I liked a lot of types of people, though. Don't get me wrong. Yep, we're gonna be in trouble soon. Food is low. It's bad. Hello, my friendly Nightshade. Wow, that's a statement. Nightshade is not friendly. It's pretty. It's not friendly. I would have been into most of these people in high school. I mean, same. Not Mars. Mars was not, like... I never got along with the popular girls. Let's just put it that way. Dis is rifling through his backpack, and as you approach, he pulls out a handful of dried roots and fungus chips. There's actually a lot to eat out there, he says, looking out into the wilderness. You just have to pay attention and listen. You know? He's been foraging. Annie is in the middle of tying her mane of hair away from her face. Oh, hey, Mayrin, she says, hair tied between her teeth. Just about to go for a run. Want to come? No. No, thank you. Tange. Tange is tapping away at the holoscreen, smiling to herself. Great news, Mayrin, she says. According to the antiquated, culturally insensitive reckoning of mental prowess once used by humans on Earth, and by that I mean IQ testing, I am officially considered a genius. She shrugs. Tell me something I do not know. Indeed. We all know that. Alright. Do we have anything inside the walls? No. Did we talk to Mars? Nope. She still doesn't have a boyfriend, though. Alrighty. No collectibles, so we're gonna go get stuff done. This will probably be the last time we research exobotany, just FYI. Your work often overlaps with Tangent's work in the biochemistry and genetics lab, so it's not uncommon for her to pop by and ask questions about what you're working on, or for you to ask her for help interpreting some test results. She's uncharacteristically animated whenever she gets to talk about science, almost like she's a whole different person. She even laughs sometimes. Don't you think it's so interesting how Vertumnum species resist being classified by any known taxonomy? She asks, peering into the root network you've sandwiched between pieces of clear glass. She stands up. Feels like everything is a little bit fungal, she says. Spores, fruiting bodies, micellular networks, even in animals? Do we talk about the animals who can photosynthesize or the plants who can walk? That's why I said most. Mars is lame. I agree. Mars is lame. The first one? I don't think it matters either way, really. This one might give us a point in animals. This one might give us a point in biology. Might. I mean, I could be wrong. What do we think? Probably just gives different lines. Yeah, I mean, it could be completely cosmetic, so to speak. I do think it's cool that some animals can even photosynthesize. She nods excitedly. The division between plant, animal, and fungus is less strict here than it was on Earth. At the cellular level, many animal species have properties of plants and vice versa. It's possible that this would have been the answer either way. She launches into an explanation of how high-energy bonds store energy and require a metal catalyst, like iron in human blood and chlorophyll in green earth plants, but how the different hues of Vertumnan plants must mean they use an entirely unknown elemental catalyst. Possibly not even a metal at all. It's a little advanced for you, but Tange is very excited about it. She stops and takes a breath, winded by her own monologue. Zounds, Mayrin. If Vertumnan plants and animals share an elemental catalyst, and we found out what it is, we could learn so much about this planet. We could help her advance her theory. We could nod. We could flirt. We could brush her off. I am torn between advancing the theory and flirting, because I love to flirt. You guys know this. Those of you who are new here, I usually do all the flirting. She brushed us off last time, but she's also now older too. But we could help her advance her theory, which might, in fact, be more helpful to us. Flirt, you have to. I don't have to do shit, Plague. Unless, of course, you're going to actually crown yourself ruler of the vote again. This time I'll let you get away with it. Nah, one's probably the best. I suspect she's aromantic. Still might go for a friends with benefits thing, though. I just... Since we are older than her by a little bit, by like, not quite a year, but we're older enough, I think we might just want to wait a moment. Let us help her advance her theory. That definitely brings our friendship up. You show Tangent what you've been working on. All the samples and simulations. The results of scans and experiments. Incredible, Tangent says, going over your notes. We've been attempting to map the genome of various samples in order to construct a phylogenetic tree, but we're at capacity already. Can I take this? Of course. We've helped Tangent a lot, and we got extra kudos. Tangent smiles. Thank you, Mayrin. This is more helpful than I can say. Chief Engineer Instance forwards you some kudos for sharing your research. Alright, time to get to work. Finally. Alright, we've got 5s and 6s. That is quite literally the highest we can play. We can't really do a straight here because of these two cards. So we have 2 pair and a flush 5. Heck yeah, and second biology perk. Collectibles respawn faster and more slots are filled. Yes! Yes! Perfect. Heck yeah. And we now have enough kudos to buy the thing I want. Mid-quiet becomes late-quiet. So... we don't actually know whose birthday it is this month. Mars is early wet. Tangent and Dis are late wet. So we don't know Cal's birthday, and we don't know Annie's birthday. We don't know what Annie likes either, for that matter. We know what Cal likes, but we don't have any. So let's see if there's any collectibles now. Nah, we're not gonna go for a run, but thanks for asking. Yep, you are considered officially a genius. Me too, actually. Low levels, but me too. I've been learning a lot about systems, Dis says, writing on his holopalm. Like water cycle and the nitrogen cycle, food webs and decomposition, stuff like that. It's pretty cool, even if it's all textbooks from Earth. He looks wistfully out at the wilderness. There's so much we don't know about this place. You are correct. Mm-hmm. You are correct. Cal? The Dorbs moth is driving him nuts some more. Hey, Dad. We have read this one before. The Watato plants are related to sniff blossoms. Yep, they sure are. Hey, Mom. Potatoes are still not growing well enough. Oh, dear. And potatoes are pretty hardy. Do you go to engineering much? Mars asked. I tried to go talk to Tangent because she never wants to just hang out anymore. Not since she got started working on that big project. Mars snaps her gum. You know about that, right? Or am I just special? Yeah, we know. We've known longer than you have. Notice aboard. Dangerously low food. Security rating still red. And this has not changed in a bit. But we came for the brain trainer. And now we have the brain trainer. Yes. Did it auto-equip? It sure did. Yes. Nice. We need more mushwood logs. So I think it is time to go sneak out. You step cautiously through the colony gates. We've read this one. But we are tough enough or brave enough, if we want to say those, because of our new equipment. That's what's giving us the points. Since these answers just opened up, I'm going to try them. Yeah, it's lovely. I'm brave enough. Well, I'll be. Utopia draws, grappling Eupathy. You ain't lying, kid. You got grit. She scans a roster on her holopalm. Yep. Looks like you're approved to start with the junior survey teams, and you look like you won't wilt at the first sting of slapgrass. We'll keep you close to begin with, round here and in the prosaic plains. Come see me when you're ready for an assignment. Finally got her voice. Ah, so we can actually go to this building here. So we can explore nearby, or we can survey the plains. Bravery and perception, or perception and animals. Now, as much as organizing is 64, because we are boosting our skill, we don't get the perk. Just FYI. We also don't have to sneak out anymore, so let's go explore nearby. I think because I just want to pick up another mushwood log, I think this is where we're going. I want this. Yes. Utopia is working near the gates. This area has been deemed safe enough for kids to go for a hike so long as you're back before dark and never go out during glow. There ain't a lot of sea out here, she says. A logging camp, a few fields, some nice lookouts. You keep your eyes peeled for useful things like that there mushwood log, she points to a light, sturdy piece of wood by the side of the road. Lumber carrier must have dropped it. It's fairly safe out there, but that don't mean totally safe, she cautions. Don't go too far, and if you see anything that scares you, run like heck and make a ton of noise. She helps tighten the straps of your backpack. What you hoping to see out there, sweets? Stuff to collect. Utopia laughs. Take nothing but photos, leave nothing but footprints, she teases. Suppose it's different on a brand new planet like this one, she says. We actually do need samples of basically everything, especially stuff that might be edible. She slaps you on the back. Things regrow pretty wild out there, she adds. If you've picked a place clean, give it a year. Bet it'll look like you were never there at all. Ooh, Winter Fairy threw down the gauntlet with some parchment, but Trav came back with some shears and won. Nice. Congrats indeed, Trav. Good try, Winter Fairy. Alright, so that means we have 4 mushwood logs. Let's see what other things we can collect. Doesn't let me go off the path very far. Oh. New beast, who this? If we had combat 20 or greater, we could attack it. That seems terrible. There in the clearing, the most majestic creature you've ever seen. It's like a unicorn from your dad's storybooks, but with leathery reptile skin that shines when the light hits it. It moves so softly, like it doesn't even disturb the ground. It could be dangerous, but you want to see what it does. We could eat snacks while we watch, or we could be as quiet as possible and do a perception challenge, an easy one. I'm gonna do the perception challenge because heck yeah. So that's a pair. I tried to make this a straight. 5, 4, 3. Do I have to do it the other way around? I see. Interesting. Next round. Alright, we got gem cards this time. Next round. Yeah. Flush 5. Straight 5. A 2 of a kind and a 2 of a kind because the value is wild. Heck yeah. Super gold the crap out of this. And I win. Victory is mine. Got some perception, got some kudos. Nice. And some animals. As you settle in to watch it from behind a strand of mush trees, the Unisaur looks up towards you, startled by your movement. You try to hold perfectly still and quiet your breathing. After a tense moment, it goes back to its business. First, it sniffs out a good tree and rubs the scent glands on its neck against it thoroughly. Then it pees, like a crystal waterfall, on a rock. Everything it does seems magical. Next, it sharpens its horn against a rock, which is scored with marks from having done this before. This must be its favorite sharpening rock. You notice the bulge in its stomach. It must have had a huge meal recently. Eventually, it curls up for a nap. You quietly sneak away. This was so wonderful. Vertumna is a magical place. Be safe, Winter Fairy, and give all your love to your munchkins for me. Alright, so we lost stress and then we gained stress because of time passing. Heck yeah, we got medicinal roots for Dis for his birthday. He will like that. Absolutely. At the top of the rise off to the east, you think you spot someone watching you. They're dressed in black. Is that Dis? But they look way too tall to be Dis. Maybe another surveyor? You blink and the figure is gone. Ooh, we're gonna look for clues. Excuse me. You bushwhack down into a valley and up the other path to where you thought you saw them standing. A mysterious stranger. Ooh. No signs of a camp or anything. Obvious, like a dropped pack. No note saying, "I'm watching you," signed mysterious figure. Spooky. Okay. More mushwood. Good, good, good. More mushwood. Good, good, good. I'm in a shortcut. Some farmland is spilled outside the walls. The fields don't look like they're doing very well. Nobody's around right now. In fact, it looks a bit abandoned. There are some meager-looking crops ready to harvest, but animals are starting to get at them. We're gonna salvage what we can. We know that food stores are bad. You pull up a handful of wrinkly tubers. They're probably supposed to be potatoes, eventually. Or maybe yams? Hard to tell. You dig around a little longer, but it's all pretty picked over. The foragers are happy for the help. Alright. We can bypass that. But not if we want that mushwood log. Oh no, I was in range. Cool, cool, cool. Yes, medicinal plant. More of these guys. Alright. We're getting further out. You hear a sad hiccuping sound and follow it to a sick hop-eye. It's hunched down low, its foot completely nestled under its body and shivering uncontrollably. Its enormous eyes roll around in confusion and fear at your approach. We could make it comfortable, poke it with a stick, or try to take it home with us, which is a normal difficulty animals challenge. Do we want a hop-eye as a pet, guys? They did attack us for glow this last year. I should say at the end of last year. It's Dis wearing stilts. Salvage everything, it's food, we need that. Yeah. I already did, I'm not stupid. It appears plausibly sick. Do we want to take a sick animal home? But we could study it. It would also really excite our dad. Let's be honest. And Cal. Don't forget Cal. I'm gonna try to take it home with me. Heck yeah, let's get a pet. Okay, this is locked. There's a straight and a flush. What does this do? Becomes a 6. I see. I like the straight better though. Next round. So a flush, a straight, and a two of a kind. Yeah. All right. So we've got a pair, another pair, a flush 4. We could do a flush 5, but this and this pair well together. So I actually think this is probably the highest that we can get. Even a flush 5 would only give us like a point more at best, and even then, like, not really. Does not give us the highest. So this is pretty good. Pretty good, pretty good. We win, we win. Get animals, skill, and some kudos. The hopeye hisses and tries to bite you. It doesn't want to be touched. You throw your jacket over it, then carefully pick it up and put it in your pack. You crack the zipper a bit to give it some fresh air. Your dad helps you make a little nest for it in an empty part of the geoponics barns. Every day you bring it food and water and gradually nurse it back to health. Cal takes an active interest in the recuperation. Utopia says that hopeyes don't really have a gender, he says as you're washing out the pen together. Or maybe she said they're both, and they're really social. So what are you gonna name them? He asks. Mrs. Hoppington? Sir Hops-a-Lot? Hoptimus Prime? Hop Solo? Or something else where we get to choose? I'm kind of fond of Hop Solo, not gonna lie. But if there are suggestions for names in the chat, I will consider them. Feel free to add in your own pun, flair, or otherwise. Plague Doctor says Jim. He's dead, Jim. Sorry, I'm a Trekkie. Of course I'm gonna go straight to he's dead, Jim. Anybody else want to chime in with a name suggestion, or even just one of the ones that we've been offered? Alright, Hop Solo it is. Because as much as I like Jim, Plague, I'm more fond of Hop Solo. A vagabond, a scoundrel, a ruffian with a heart of gold. Does that make you Mayrin Baka? Ooh, interesting. Gain 1 less stress, +1 bonus to pairs. Pets follow you and may appear in events. Cal offers the hopeye a piece of bobber fruit. Cute! Hop Solo plucks the fruit from Cal's hand and hops into your lap to snuggle down and nibble on it. Cal snaps a photo with his hollow palm and shares it, captioning it, "Friends for life." Aww. We got perception, we got bravery, we got friendship with Dis.
And it is now early pollen, the season in where our father very much suffers. Look, we have our pet who follows us around. You catch Dis scrolling through his hollow palm. I used to watch a lot of it. Oh, we read this one. Dare you to eat this worm? Oh yeah? Dis counters. Well, I double dare you to eat a worm. You can't just turn down a double dare. You're no meek little hop-eye. Slimy, unsatisfying, very, very gross. Dis eats his like a noodle, slurping it up and wrinkling his nose as it wriggles in his mouth. Yuck, he says, swallowing it whole, then shows you his empty mouth. You should have known better than to dare a person who fears nothing. Ah, but we got a card out of it. That was the whole point. We finally had the bravery enough to do it. Dis is curiously studying a small bleached white animal skull. Look at this, he says, and holds it out to you. There's mushrooms growing in this one. I didn't know that fungus could grow on bone. It's kind of like everything on this planet was designed to work together. He throws the skull back into the wilderness. Well, except us. Yep. Alright then. Cal has something to say. Ooh, another mushwood. So does Dad. Your mom passes you a soy ration bar from her pocket. Here, Mayrin, eat up. You need your strength. Thanks, Mom. I'm going to the people who don't have anything because I want to make sure I spend time with those things. What do you think of my hair? Mars asks, fiddling with the end of one of the twists. I see you eyeing it. I'm just growing it out. She sighs and buries her face in her hands. It's so boring here. I am literally watching my hair grow. Yeah, well, we're going to tell you how our day is. All cards to the right become one. Mars is always talking about how she's bored and wishes there was more to do here, but there are 100 reasons Vertumna isn't boring. You try to list them all. There's all the cool plants and new constellations to look at, and just yesterday you watched Dorb's moth squeeze through a crack in a wall no animal should be able to fit through. Mars listens politely, but starts yawning halfway through. Less bored is still bored when it comes to Mars and Vertumna. Oh, and now we have an event with her. Oh boy. Well, I'll get back to it. Oh geez. Oh my goodness. I think I know that this is the Valentine's Day event. Annie is in the middle of tying her mane. Oh, right. Want to go for a run? Sure, let's train together. Since I now have a toughness over 20. -2 to neighboring social cards. On your way to the sports ball pitch, Annie shares the story about the time her brother Com once spiked the ball so hard that he broke Utopia's nose, back when she used to play sports ball too. She describes it in gory detail. Got our friendship up. Don't go easy on me, she exclaims. That's why we have med beds, right? Plus, I might get a cool scar. She thumbs a blue scaled scar on her jaw right under her ear. Okay. Alright, we still don't know what she likes. But we do have... We know she doesn't like crystal clusters. We've given her a log before, that was not it. Medicinal roots is for somebody else. Who do we talk to first? Let's talk to Dad first. You can hear your dad sneeze all the way from engineering. It's explosive, like he's trying to scare away predators. He's wiping his nose as you approach, on a handkerchief blotted with shimmering pink. Lately, he's also surrounded by a fine dusting of pink pollen that clings to him wherever he goes. You keep brushing the glitter off things in your quarters. He gives you a hug, then brushes pollen off your shoulder, laughing self-consciously. You haven't heard him laugh much lately. He's been working hard trying to improve the colony's food supply. He's showing signs of malnourishment, too, though your mom is worse. You're worried for them both.
the red cards with the specials really like attracting drawbacks. I think it's not necessarily drawbacks as it's a way, an alternative way to score. They could be useful in the right situation. Your dad's skin is kind of shiny in patches. He sees you staring and rubs his hand over his arms. Sparkling dust poofs off him in little clouds, scintillating in the light. Oh, yeah. That's a new symptom, he says. Seems harmless, though. Do we yell at him to stay outside? Do we yell at him to see Chief Engineer Instance? Do we yell at him about his mask that he's still not wearing? Or do we tell him to stay safe? Because he's gonna do what he's gonna do anyway. He's literally turning into a mushroom person right now. It's... Narrator. Unfortunately, it turned out to not be harmless after all. Yeah. Stay safe, Dad. Don't worry about me, kiddo, he says, knocking you with his elbow. You stay safe out there, running all over the planet, getting in trouble. He sighs. Wish that was me. Your dad sniffles. Gosh, feel like someone stuffed a whole Watto pod up my nose, he says. Like I could just poke a stick up there and pop fresh potato juice. Ugh, Dad, gross. He just grins. What? It's true. You follow his gaze out to the fields and to the lands outside the gate. I wonder if the foragers could use an extra hand, he muses to himself. Yeah, maybe I'll join them out there tomorrow. Neither of your parents are taking proper care of themselves. They're so stressed out from the poor harvest and low food supplies. They try not to let you see it, but you can tell. Maybe your dad is right. A little seasonal illness is nothing compared to the danger of running out of food. Not good. Not good. Hey, Cal. You catch Cal at the gate to the gardens. He's carrying a big bucket of rocks. Hi, Mayrin, he exclaims. He pauses to pat your pet on the head. Oh, and hello to you too, Hop Solo. Oh, I'm supposed to tell you there's a new park near Geoponics now, Cal says. We can run around all we want, and nobody will say we're trampling the fields. You should come play there sometime. And bring Hop Solo. They'll love it. So now we can relax in the park in Geoponics. Cool. Mars? You know, Mayrin, you're all right, Mars says to you as you approach. You blink at her, trying to figure out what she means. You're an all right what? At your stunned silence, Mars laughs and tosses her hair over her shoulder. You're all right, she repeats. You actually have good taste, unlike all these other nullheads. Ever since we landed, it's been, help with this, Mars, and don't waste resources on that, Mars. It's boring. At least you understand the importance of sophistication. You shoot the breeze with Mars a bit longer. At some point, Dis skulks out of the living quarters and has to pass by you both, clearly trying not to draw your attention. Ugh, where's he going now? Mars mutters to you and then raises her voice so Dis can hear. Try not to get eaten by aliens, she calls out to Dis. If you die out there, they can't use your body for fertilizer. Don't be a waste. Shut up, Mars. Dis is cool. You say it loud enough for Dis to hear. He looks at you with wide eyes before scurrying towards the walls. Yeah, I would much rather have friendship with Dis than Mars. Marzipan can chill. Huh, Mars says with a little smile. No accounting for taste. She seems to respect that you challenged her. She watches Dis disappear from sight, then shrugs. Maybe you can get through to him? I've tried, but he doesn't care about contributing to the colony, or being popular, or earning kudos, or anything important. Oh. Maybe we should ask her what she contributes to the colony. I mean, for crying out loud, if she's going to throw stones, she should be able to catch them. Is she our least liked friend yet? Let's find out. 8, 12. Oh my god, no, she's not even the least liked friend yet. What do you contribute, Mars? Mars laughs and puts her hands on her hips. I contribute plenty, and you know it, Mayrin. People need someone to tell them what to do, don't they? Well, at least that's what she believes. She thinks she's a shoo-in for command. Superiority complex. Yeah, her dads are in command, I think. I have over 20 with all my other friends. I have none with Mars. Oh geez, Plague. You spot Tangent leaning against the wall outside engineering. She's yawning, rubbing her eyes and staring off into space. She startles as you walk up. Oh, Mayrin, I was just taking a short break. Yawns are infectious. Join in and yawn too. Did you stay up all night too? She asks. I don't even remember when I slept last. It might have been a few days ago. You haven't slept in 2 days? More like 3, she replies, then pauses for another jaw-cracking yawn. But as I said, I'm tired. Even my enhanced body has limitations. You look at her quizzically. I don't need to sleep as much as other people. It's a genetic what's-it, she says foggily. You know, a DNA enhancement. I guess sometimes even I forget to do it. I should set myself a reminder. Hollow. Add to schedule. Sleeping nightly 23 for 3 hours. Her holopalm emits a tone in response. Tangent nods sleepily. That should do it, she murmurs. Her eyes are practically closed. I think we're gonna find her some place to take a nap, because that's what she absolutely needs. An energy drink is pushing it. Leaving her be? No way, she's our friend. Tange follows you obediently into the engineering wing, too tired to protest. You slip into med bay and grab a blanket and pillow off a shelf. By the time you return, Tange's already fallen asleep, curled up in an egg chair in the waiting area. You gently place the blanket over her and she hums happily before going slack with much needed sleep. Yeah, girl, we got your bag. Take a nap, please. Alright, what are we gonna do? We finally have the mushwood logs for the experiment, so I'm probably gonna do that just to see what that's about. Yeah, let's do that. Pet the fuzzy? Can I? Can I? Hold on. Come over here. I can't actually, like, interact with it. Oh, never mind. If I click on it, it gets petted. I petted it. I petted it. Okay. I didn't know that you could do that. Pet the fuzzy? Thank you. Alright. So we're gonna put in research because we have that research project that the game keeps trying to prompt us on. It was out there in the world and looking eminently clickable. Good catch, Trav. You bring your mushwood samples into the lab. You're going to study these and revolutionize the use of mushwood lumber. Maybe. Heck yeah. You examine the mushwood under a microscope and take notes on its cellular structure. Part of the reason it needs to be harvested in wet is because the cells get so saturated that they lose structural integrity and turn to, well, mush during glow. Studying the exact process by which the cells take in water leads to a breakthrough. It might be possible to hack the process and stop the mushwood trees from taking on too much water during wet. If they don't take on as much water, they won't take as long to dry. Oh, heck yeah, colony defense. You should be able to develop a spray that the loggers can apply to the fruiting body of the mushwood, the part that sticks out above ground, to close its pores. Reducing negative pressure on the body should stop it from pulling so much water from the micellular network underground. This is great. Logging will be much more efficient now. We've done our help. Nope, this is the one. This is the one. I forgot that this is just those cards. Yeah. Let's go. Because this only gets to a 5 if it has the highest value, so the 6 is just better. Can you do a 4, 5, 6? I could. That's a 32, and then if I go back to what I had, okay, 32 is higher. Okay. Cool. There we go. 32. Highest score. So we got extra biology and some kudos and some stress. But we finally did that project. You're at lunch with your parents. Sliced soy cakes and watery broth again. Great. When they put down their cutlery, they look at each other and then you. Mayrin, your mom says, there's something we should tell you. We've tried to shelter you from some things, but we think you should know why we've been working so hard in geoponics. There's a meeting after lunch, and I want you to come with us. Okay. You follow your parents to the council room. Mars has also tagged along, and you take a seat near them as your mom and Aunt Anne, starts to address the council. After Utica officially calls the meeting, she gestures to your mom. I'm not going to mince words, your mom says firmly. All of our efforts to increase food production in geoponics have failed, especially given the failure of the pixie beans. The destruction of the fields during the last attack put the nail in our coffin. By the end of the year, the colony will run out of food. I know, Mom, it's all going wrong in there, and we're about to run out of Earth food. Yeah, we as the audience absolutely knew this was happening. The rest of the council murmurs in concern. You and Mars exchanged horrified looks. You've been doomsdaying about our food supply for 2 years, Flulu, Rhett questions. Do you mean to say we're past the point of no return? Your mother nods grimly. I'm afraid so. Even with rationing, without securing a Vertumnan food source, our supplies will run out by wet season. She gestures to Anne, whose face is grave. Anne and I have gone over the supplies and come up with food plans. We've crunched the numbers. Your mom sighs and spreads her hands. I'm sorry. Geoponics should have been producing better by now. We should have been able to wean ourselves off soy rations. During wormhole transit when we lost our hydroponics in the hull breach, she sighs again. I know I've said it so many times, but our crops just don't grow here. We needed those algae tanks. We needed the microbial soil from Earth. Ooh. It's not Mom's fault. It's not. The survival of the colony shouldn't rest on one person's shoulders. It's not fair. She's been working harder than anyone. She did everything she could. The council mumbles agreement. You decide they probably never really blamed her or your dad. The only holdout is Mars, who crosses her arms and grumbles that it's clearly a problem with leadership. As if Mars would know any better. So what do we do now? Instance asks. Starving to death isn't an option. No, it isn't, your mom replies. We need to secure a food source this year, before our rations run out. We're working double shifts in geoponics, but it's not enough. We need more people planting, tending, turning the soil. We need more hands. I can pull back the surveyors and focus on foraging native plants, Utopia offers. Even the young folk can help if they've proven themselves around the survey equipment. I'll send out a holo message later. So now we can forage. We have gained the status of starving. Oh boy. This has been the burden of geoponics for too long, Utica says. It's time we all step up. For our future. The council nods in agreement. Your stomach rumbles ominously. Early pollen becomes mid pollen, and with that, we're gonna do a cheeky save and finish up here for the week. We are on stream 3. Or stream 4, I should say. Stream 4. So thank you guys for joining me for yet another round of I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. But this is where we're going to wrap up for the week, because every Friday is Palia Friday. We go and play Palia, a free-to-play MMO, every Friday. So if you would like to join me, here's the link to the Steam store. It is free to play, as I said. I always encourage my friends to come join me during stream if they are able. And if they're not, I hope you enjoy the chill vibes that I end my week with every single week. But I'm May, and I stream Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern US time, if that's not your time zone. Either give me a follow and put on notifications here, or over on Blue Sky. Either or both, preferably both, of course, will get you the notifications of when I'm going live. And if you're over on Blue Sky, let's chat about this game, please. Poke me. I'm bad at social media. I forget to use it consistently. But sometimes I talk about the games I'm playing, and I haven't quite decided what I want to say about this game yet, because we're still not even halfway through. So help me with my thoughts. Poke me over on Blue Sky. Yell and scream at me until I respond, please. I beg of you. If you have missed anything from this game or any other game that I've played, the playlists are all handily-dandily there for you over on YouTube, that you can stream anytime, day or night, 24/7. My company is yours. And whether you're cooking, cleaning, working, trying to get some sleep, or just need something going on in the background, it's free. YouTube is free. The playlists are free. I make zero money over there. I am just leaving the VODs as a gift for all of you. Alright, it is time to raid a friend, because I raid my friends here on Twitch. We're all in this community together, after all, and if I don't have any friends live, I go make new ones. So let's go see who we raid today. I like having community. Can you tell? Ooh, we got options. And of those options, we're gonna go take some chill time with Elise Stroud Studio. She's also an East Coast USian. She makes gorgeous art. We absolutely adore her, and she's such a sweetheart. Her community is also very sweet, so let's go over and say hi and see what she's working on today. Sometimes she even games some pretty cozy games. She was into Sunhaven the same time we were, or around the same time we were, so that's how we met her. In any case, Elise is wonderful. Please say hi. Give her all the love from me. I hope the rest of your Thursday is fantastic. I hope to also see you all tomorrow for some Palia time, where we just chill and let our ADHD, OCD, or any other ism that we might have run wild, and just kind of have a chill time at the end of our week. In any case, until tomorrow, it is time to raid in 3, 2, 1. Bye, guys.